Ms. Nickerson, you are suing the defendants for assault.
Yes.
For injury to your arm, to your finger.
And my foot. I have a comminuted fracture on my foot.
All right. Well, why don't you tell me first, before we get to your injuries, I gather that the defendant's son was playing at your house with some of your children.
Yeah. Well,
is that right?
Yeah.
And there was a toy that was broken by her son.
A little toy.
What kind of toy was it? It's
a little Nintendo cartridge. I went to the defendants to ask them, did they have a screw that I can put into my, actually it wasn't my son's game, it was my nephew's game. To put, could they help me put it back together?
Let me stop. After the toy was broken, according to your complaint, you went to the defendant's house.
I went there.
And you said, do you have a screw that you can fix the game with, because your son broke the game?
Before I went there, I sent the boys,
put your hand down, please.
My nephew and my son over there. And they called me and asked me, why did I send the kids over there? They didn't understand what they were talking about. You know, they didn't understand. Tell me what you're talking about. I said, I'll be over there in a minute. But I didn't know that, well, by the time I got there, I didn't know I was going to have to fight for my life to get out.
Well, what happened when you got there?
Well, when I got there, I was trying to explain to Renee.
Who's Renee? That's you?
Rena.
Rena.
She's Renee.
Well, they told me her name was Renee. And anyway, I was trying to explain to her about this screw. And she kept yelling, and I told her, I said, okay, forget about it. You obviously want to fight. So I was trying to get out. And before I knew it, they had jumped on me.
Who's they?
She, her mom, and her brother.
You're the mother?
Yes, I am.
I didn't find it funny. I've been in the cast for about 2 months, and I'm still being treated.
And you don't know why this happened?
Well, I have a pretty good idea.
Well, let me hear your idea, because right now I really don't understand why you have injuries.
We have yeah, I don't either. I mean,
I don't understand it either. So tell me why you think this happened.
We had a mutual friend, and he was pretty nice to me. He did a lot of things for me. I think Val may have been in love with him. I don't know. He claimed he was in love with me, but I didn't share those same feelings.
So you think that this was all over a man?
That's what I think. Well, the man had died. And the man died. I didn't go to his funeral. And a couple of days after that is when this setup, I believe it was a setup. This is what happened, because I can't understand why they would get that mad over a little Nintendo game, a screw. I have a lot of kids over my house all the time. Val and I have had problems with the kids before, but we've always been able to talk about it.
That's you?
We've always been able to talk about whatever problems we ever had. We've always been able to talk about it. But this particular time, there was no talking.
Okay. Rena?
Yes.
Let's hear your version of this, please.
Okay. Sunday is when I heard that, well, my son, he was at our house playing Sunday for a couple of hours just before we was going to start our day. And I had told her, you know, she was fixing the kids' lunch and stuff. I told her, don't worry about mine, because I would be picking him up about 3, because we had movie engagements and planned for that day. But after I dropped him off back after Sunday and everything like that, never mentioned about the screw. Even after I picked him up, because I still don't know when the screw got lost and everything. So when I dropped him off at his father's, I went off with a friend, and we were gone for like 2 days out of town. And when I came back that Tuesday, which was the 22nd, is when I heard about the screw. She called the house saying that I said, why did you send the children? She said, because I figured you could help them. And I'm like, help them with what? A screw. What kind of screw? A screw to a game. I'm asking, is this game still broken, or is it broken? Does it work? I haven't checked that. She's assuming that she's talking to my mother. I'm letting her know you are talking to me while she's being loud and ruly. I will be there. When she got there, she bammed on the door like she was a detective, and I asked her why. She said, because I wanted to make sure you heard me. Come on in. She's still going on about the screw. She never said anything about the game. She always focused on a screw. I got out a screw bucket where I keep little tools and stuff. Let's get us one. I offered her to sit down. She sat down for a half a second and jumped back up, and when she did that, not knowing her, because I can prove that I've only been here, just got in town, I don't know her. She's my mother's company. Okay.
Fine.
Yeah, and so when she jumped up in my face, not knowing what she had done or what she'd been doing over her house before or why she was calling, and because she still had hostility and rage in her voice, in her and everything, and all I did was defend myself when she jumped in my face.
Just a second. All right, let's take this slowly, Rena.
Yes.
She's sitting on the couch. And where are you? Sitting or standing?
No, it's a little love seat. And before she could sit down, when she sat down before I could sit down, she was back up and I rose with her.
I have to get this as a mental picture.
Okay.
You are standing.
Yeah. Talking to her like this, like we're side by side.
Right.
And I said, sit down, let's talk.
You said sit down.
Uh-huh.
She starts to sit down, and you're still standing.
Uh-huh, before I could even get there.
No, not before. You're still standing.
Yes, I am.
So she sits, and you're standing, and then she just jumps up.
Just like that.
And then you, Rena, look
Yes.
at me. Then you did what?
Then when she did that, because
she did that. She jumped up. Just tell me what you did.
When I jumped up, I lunged back, and she did like this, and then that's when
You what?
I
Get
defended
it out.
myself. When she
No,
put
you
her...
didn't say... I don't want you to tell me defend
Well, okay,
myself.
Anyway,
I want you
when
to tell me...
she put her hands in my face, I put my hands in hers.
No, Rena.
I did.
Rena, listen to me. Listen to me, Rena.
I did.
Listen to me,
did.
Rena.
When she
Rena,
put her,
pay attention to me,
Yes.
madam. She jumped up,
Yes.
because I read your answer.
Yes.
She didn't put her hands on you, but you put your hands on her, and I want you to tell me exactly what you did.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I mean, it really isn't funny for two adult women who have children to indulge themselves in this kind of behavior. So believe me, it's not funny.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Renee Nickerson says she was attacked by Rena Robinson after she tried to talk to her about a screw that came loose from a video game.
I want you to tell me exactly what you did.
That's what I did. When she jumped up...
No, you didn't. You didn't tell me what you did.
When she jumped up, I put my hands in her face to strike her or whatever.
In her face is not telling you, but she didn't get these injuries from putting your hands in her face.
Okay, in her face, on her, or whatever.
No, not whatever. Let's get back. Rena, let's get back to it, Rena.
Get back to it. This is how it went. When she jumped up...
Show me on your mother.
Okay, when she jumped... Okay, seriously. When she went to go sit down and she jumped up in my face like this, and I went back, and when she brought her hands to me, I didn't know what she was going to do, and I pushed them back, and then she launched back, and that's when we had the conflict back and forth.
So you put your hands on her first.
First, because I didn't know what she was going to bring to me.
I was trying to leave.
Just a second. You put your hands on her first.
Okay, well, then I accept that.
Well, that's what happened.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
So if you just put your hands on her, and you were showing me with your mother that you just held both hands.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
This, I don't know, because
we don't know.
the ambulance did not come, no rescue squad or anything like that. So
Yes, they did. I called the ambulance and I called the police.
Okay.
Now,
how did you get involved in this?
Okay. Renee and I had discussed this Sunday. We talked about the losing of the screw and the Nintendo game. So
You talked about it with the plaintiff.
That's
Renee.
right. Okay. And I told her, I said, well, what do you want Renee to do? Pay for the game or what? She said, no, all I need is a screw. See, can you find a screw? And I said, okay. Hung up the phone, and that was that. We never discussed it anymore. Well, I thought it was settled as she had discussed it with me. So Rena came in that Tuesday, and I was getting ready because I was going in the hospital the next day. And I was laying down in the bed, relaxing. That's when I heard them talking on the phone. Rena said, Mama, she assumed that she was talking to you. All the time she was talking to me. So when I heard she said she was coming over, well, at that time, Rena had walked out of my room and was halfway in the living room, laughing about it. So Renee walked to the door, and she, bam, 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 bam. I jumped up because I didn't know what was going on. So I wanted to know who was knocking on my door and that rapid raid. So by the time I got there, Renee said, why are you knocking on the door like that? She said, I wanted to make sure that you heard me.
Okay.
And Rena let her in. Okay. Then she told her, she said, come on in and sit down. Rena was standing like this, and Renee was getting ready to sit down. She went to sit and jumped up. At that time, I guess she said, well, I don't need to sit down. We just get it over with, the discussion. So Rena said, what is it pertaining to? And it was all but about a screw. So she said that, I guess when Renee jumped up, Renee didn't know what she was going to do. And at that time, as in anger in her, she didn't know whether she had a weapon or what.
Just tell me what happened, madam.
Okay.
Don't tell me what was in somebody's mind. I want to hear what happened.
Okay. And, all right. So this is what happened. They got to fighting.
No, you don't get to fighting. Somebody fights first.
Well, that's what I had said. Okay. Rena put her hands on her first.
How?
Well, like...
When she came
No,
to
no,
me.
no.
No, not
you
you.
already told me. Now your mother's going to tell me.
She was
No, listen to me.
I'm just saying.
No, you say nothing. Your mother is going to show me.
Okay. She pushed her back.
She pushed her.
Okay.
And then what happened?
Then the other one pushed back too. So then they got together and started tussling. And I tried to tell them to stop. I never touched her. Never did. I touched my own daughter, trying to make her stop because it was unnecessary to fight over a screw. Okay, so then they got to really going at it. So when I did get them apart, Renee went out of the door. She was standing there at the door. Then my Renee hit her again because she wasn't moving out the door fast enough.
Where did she hit her?
Okay, I think she slapped her or hit her up.
Slapped her in the face.
Yeah, she slapped her. Yeah, she did. Okay, but when they really got to tussling again, it was outside the door in the complex.
You mean after your daughter hit her in the face?
Yeah, they went on out.
She jumped at me about 3 or 4 times.
Oh, okay. Anyway, they went on out, and they still was tussling.
Aren't you ashamed of yourselves?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
As far as me jumping on her, I'll do better off jumping on Godzilla. Look how big she is.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Renee Nickerson and Rena Robinson are in dispute about a fight that broke out over a broken video game.
Aren't you ashamed of yourselves? You recently came to your mother's house.
Yes.
Your mother has had a relationship with this lady, evidently a pleasant one, for a long time, right? Where were you that you were away? And
I was in Alabama.
Did you live there?
Yes, I was.
So you just came to visit?
I came back because I was living in California before, and then I moved away because I was working and different things like that.
But your son always lived with your mother.
My son lives with his father.
Lives with his father.
Father, he was just visiting.
Visiting, yeah. He was just visiting.
Yeah, he was just visiting.
Okay. Now, I have a couple of questions for you, and then I'm going to get back to how these injuries occurred. Why is it that you didn't tell her right away when you were talking to her on the phone that I'm Rena, I'm not my mother?
She was too loud. She didn't hear me. I tried to tell her that.
She did.
She was very, very loud, and she wouldn't listen.
Why would she be loud talking to your mother?
Because something, I don't know.
Had you ever had any difficulty with Renee before?
Not really. Not really.
Well,
Nothing whereas that we couldn't solve.
Well, then that seems kind of strange, doesn't it? I mean, the last conversation, according to you, that you had was it was just about a screw and we'll take care of it.
Right.
So it doesn't sit right with me that she would call and be hostile with you on the phone.
Yes, she was.
Well, you don't know that. Your
No.
daughter told you she
Right.
was.
Okay. No, I don't know
No, your
that.
daughter told you she was hostile
Yeah, but
on
I
the
was
phone.
laying right there listening to the whole conversation.
No, you weren't. You only heard your daughter's end of the conversation.
okay.
Right?
He said she was in the room sick.
That's where the phone is in Mother's room.
Well, whatever. She wasn't.
Anyway. Well, we'll take that too. Okay.
All right. Now, I want you to tell me not how this young lady assaulted you, but you say her mother assaulted you as well. The mother says that she was just trying to split you up.
Well, maybe she was, but she had drugged me, or one of them had drugged me on the floor.
One of them.
One of them.
But you're not sure whom.
I'm not sure who. By the time I got to the door, as far as a weapon go, Your Honor, this is what I had on. a little 90 that she tore up. I didn't come over. I don't even have a weapon. I was standing at the door. Her son was holding me by both of my arms, and I was trying to. I've been trying to go home ever since she first started arguing. So anyway, finally she's finished fighting. I said, "Can I have my shoe?" Val gave.
What was she doing with your shoe?
My shoe came off during the fight. Val gave her my shoe. She took my shoe, threw it at my lip, busted my lip.
Who did?
This Renee.
Well, there's no question she assaulted you.
Okay.
No,
Now-
listen to me. I want to explain something to you so that we can shorten this because I have other work to do today. There's no question that she assaulted you.
But Your Honor.
I'm asking about her mother.
Her mother?
I'm asking you whether you know if her mother assaulted you or whether she was just trying to break up this fight.
Now, see, that's what I'm not sure if she was trying to help Renee or trying to break it up because I have too many injuries for just one person.
Can I see your medical bills, please?
Sure. This is from Harvard General, and these are the radiology reports.
When she hit you at the door, listen to me. He's starting to talk. Let me ask my question first. Her mother, who I believe is an honest woman who's testified pretty credibly here today, that her own daughter slugged you in the face as you were trying to leave because you weren't moving fast enough. I don't know why you think this is funny. This really isn't funny.
It's not really.
I mean, it really isn't funny for two adult women who have children who are trying to set examples for their children to indulge themselves in this kind of behavior. So believe me, it's not funny.
It's not really about
I
the
agree.
funniness.
I would like you to tell me, when she hit you at the door, did she slap you or punch you?
I don't even know. Your Honor, by the time I got my shoe, I'm trying to run out the door. I got outside the door. Next thing I know, Renee runs up behind me, put me in the headlock. I had to bite her so she can turn me loose. Then she threw me down on some bricks. Then she jumped on me again. And it took two men that lived next door, and those two men that lived next door, they had to pull her off of me. And then I got the cast. I had to wear the cast. I'm still supposed to be in the cast. I had to cut all my pants and alter my clothes. I've been miserable. This is misery. And it's all behind it. It was uncalled for. It shouldn't have even happened.
You're absolutely right. I still don't see a bill for your medical expenses.
There's no bill. Medi-Cal paid for my expenses.
So you had no out-of-pocket expenses, so you're suing for pain and
suffering.
You're suing for pain and suffering. Okay.
I couldn't use my this hand, or I still can't use my leg. And I don't even know when I'll be able to wear a pair of shoes again.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a facilitator.
What does that mean?
I'd hire myself out, housework, cooking, domestic.
And you're living with your mother now?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Well, this ridiculous screw is going to cost you $1,000.
Okay.
And as far as I'm concerned, you still owe her an apology.
I'll apologize.
And I still don't know why you think that there's any amusement about this situation.
My smile is a part of my personality. It has nothing to do with humor.
I'm still being treated.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a beautician.
Have you been able to work?
I got my license.
No, listen to me. Have you been able to work?
No.
How are you supporting yourself?
AFDC and disability.
Okay. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
And on the next Judge Judy,
Parties on Palmer versus Palmer. Step forward, please.
a father confronts his own daughter in Judge Judy's court. 45-year-old sales executive David Palmer is suing his 17-year-old daughter Vanessa. He says she left home with a car she didn't pay for.
Order. All rise. Quiet in the courtroom, please. All rise. Your Honor, this is case number 46 on the calendar in the matter of Palmer versus Palmer. All parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Have a seat, please.
This is a pretty sad situation.
Very sad.
Mr. Palmer, this is your daughter, Vanessa. Vanessa, how old are you?
17.
And you're suing your daughter, Mr. Palmer, because you say that she left your home. And when she left, she took a car that had been purchased. And she owes you money for the car. You either want the car back or you want her to start paying you the money for the car, and she left your home under very unfortunate conditions. So I have a few questions, and then we're going to try to resolve this, okay?
Okay.
All right, Vanessa?
Okay.
Now, when's your birthday?
August 28th.
You say you bought the car, you say for her, but she was supposed to make payments on the car.
Yes.
No, he bought the car for my birthday and because I got a job. And he told me to tell my friends that I had to pay him back so they wouldn't get jealous, but he told me it was for my birthday.
Could you both come up here for a minute? Mr. Palmer, I don't know what could motivate a parent other than anger to bring their 17-year-old to court. I'm sure it's not the money, right? Because her birthday, this car was bought almost a year ago, correct?
Correct.
And for a year, you didn't pay any money, right? You seem to acknowledge that.
Yes.
So why now?
Because over the past year, I had been asking when this was the only obligation that I asked of her throughout the entire period was that I will get a car for you. She wanted a brand new one, but I was not going to co-sign
Which I would have been paying for.
to purchase a brand new car. Furthermore, going to school and working part-time, I really feel that it's not in your budget. So what I said I would do is purchase the car for her, pay cash. This eliminates finance charges. Also, you would only have to have the liability insurance, and I feel that it would best fit.
How much did you pay for the car?
It was around $900. Then,
So it wasn't an expensive car, and then it was in an accident, according to your papers. It took some
No,
fixing
it
up.
was stolen.
Or it was stolen and
Right.
it was trashed or something, and you
Yeah.
had to pay some money to fix it.
correct.
Step back, Mr. Palmer. Step back, Vanessa. First of all, Mr. Palmer, we're going to get to the emotional part of this case in a minute. How much is the insurance on the car, Vanessa?
$53 a month.
And you pay that?
Yes, I do.
And Mr. Palmer, how much did you tell your daughter she was supposed to pay you each month towards the purchase price of the car?
We had to establish, first of all, approximately what her income was going to be.
Did you have this discussion with your father?
No. No. He never told me I had to pay him back for the car. Whenever he was upset with me or mad at me, he told me I owe him. But other than that, he never told me.
Honor, that's not true.
What I asked you, Mr. Palmer, was a very simple question. How much did you tell your daughter she had to pay you back each month for the car, like an installment loan? Give me the figure that you say you told her.
I didn't give her a figure. I was somewhere around $100 a month.
That's not a business arrangement, sir. Somewhere around $100 a month. So for a year, she didn't give you anything.
Yes.
That's while she
correct.
was living in your home.
Yes. Of which I had asked her over that year, when are we going to start fulfilling the obligation that we had agreed upon?
That was pretty much when you got angry with her? She says it was when you got angry with her, when
No.
she did something wrong.
No,
You mean-
Your Honor, that was not why I got angry at her.
Why did you go and live with your father in 1991, Vanessa?
Because it was a better living situation than with my mother. She was separated from my stepfather, so
Did your father take good care of you?
yeah.
Then you got to be 17, and according to these papers, you got a boyfriend.
Right.
And your father didn't approve of either the boyfriend or...
He approved of him until he found out he was my boyfriend, because he's friends with a neighbor of my dad's, and he says, "Oh, he's such a nice guy," and this and that. And then whenever he found out he was my boyfriend, he didn't approve. Actually, because he has a kid, he didn't approve.
He has a what?
A daughter.
He has a daughter?
Mm-hmm.
How old is his daughter?
6 months.
Vanessa.
Yes, Your Honor.
You don't have to bring coals to Pillion. Did you ever hear that? Vanessa. I was a family court judge for a very long time. Do you know how many times I've seen 16 and 17-year-old girls? Not all of them as pretty as you are. Tell me that they love a guy and he's got 2 or 3 kids floating around, right? Do you know how it sits on your father's shoulders when he sees his beautiful 17-year-old daughter dating a guy who has a 6-month-old baby? How irresponsible that is. How old is your boyfriend?
20.
20. And I assume he's a president of a bank or something. That's how he earns a living?
No, he was working until he broke his ankle.
He was working at what?
In a warehouse.
And now what is he doing?
He broke his ankle and now he's on disability.
Wonderful. So now we have a 20-year-old on disability with a 6-month-old baby. And you wonder, I mean, I wish, Vanessa, that you could take yourself out of your 17-year-old body and make yourself 40. For a minute. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Because he knows, if he's smart, how easy it is to throw away your life when you're 17 and to make a mistake when you're 17 and you can't recoup. The woman or the girl who had your boyfriend's 6-month-old baby is never going to be able to recoup her life. Don't you understand? If he liked him, he liked him. Then he found out he was your boyfriend and he's got a 6-month-old baby. You think that there's something wrong with your father for being angry at that and for saying to you, listen, babe, I'm going to do whatever I can to see to it that you don't ruin your life.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You hook your star to a loser, that makes you a loser.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. David Palmer says his 17-year-old daughter Vanessa had no right to take the car when she left home to live with her mother.
You're a mother. Stand up here. Stand up here. What's your name?
Donna.
What did you tell the daughter about this boyfriend?
She's dating him. She's not marrying him.
I don't care whether she's dating him or marrying him. Didn't you explain to her what the problems are?
When I found out that he had a child, I was a little upset about that. Other than that, I think he's fine.
You think a 20-year-old with a 6-month-old
It's
baby
not
who's
my-
on disability is fine for your 17-year-old gorgeous daughter?
He, as a person, is fine.
Listen, there are a lot of very nice people. I have daughters. I have 2 of them. If my daughter, who is 17 years old, came home to me and said, I got a boyfriend who's 20 years old, who's on disability, who's got a 6-month-old kid, that he's not supporting because he's on disability.
Excuse me.
He still is supporting his daughter.
What can I do about that?
You can try to discourage her. Just a second, you can try to discourage her.
It was a done deed.
It's a done deed.
That's
right. She's in love with him.
She's in love with him.
I mean, they're not planning to marry, to run off together. They both live at separate residences. They're dating.
You know, maybe if your
She
daughter had a
works, she goes
unified,
to
maybe if
school.
your daughter had a unified front with her parents, and both of her parents saying to her, this is a tremendous mistake, then maybe we wouldn't be in this situation, because I gather from these papers and from what you're saying that the reason your daughter left home was because you said, I don't want him in my house anymore.
She was thrown out.
Just a second.
He threw her out.
What happened, sir?
No, Your Honor, that is not true. That is not true. That is not true at all. When I stated that it is not in her best interest to see this young man anymore because of what we have been discussing, was when it all broke loose.
So
She said, well, fine, then. And she said this in the presence of my 2 younger ones because I walked outside to kind of cool off a little bit. That fine, then, I will go live with my mother.
No.
That is
Your
not
Honor.
what happened.
Well, you weren't
Well,
there. Just
you-
a second. You weren't there. So you tell me your version of what happened.
We were arguing and he was yelling at me. And he yelled at me to help my sister with her homework. So I did. And he was still yelling and I yelled back, why are you yelling at me when I'm helping you? And he said, don't yell at me, shut up or get out. And I said, fine, then I'll go. And he said, take all your, well, he didn't say stuff, but.
Was it about Turlana?
Mr. Palmer,
Tell her that.
that was a heated argument. You understand how that falls on a 17-year-old. You understand how that falls on her, even if, you know, even if said in anger. If it was said in anger. But you were looking for a reason to leave the house.
No, I wasn't. He told me all the time, I can't wait till you're 18. Since you have to stay here, I'm gonna make it hell for you.
Oh, please.
I'm gonna
Is
make
that-
you want to leave.
Is that what he said to you?
Yes, Your
Why
Honor.
would he say that to you?
Ask him.
Who are you?
Insane.
My name is Victoria, and he had told her right in front of me, well, maybe I would love her if she lived at a friend's house.
So,
And I thought that was very wrong.
I'm sure. It's very wrong. Bottom line is, everything was okay until you got the boyfriend.
Everything wasn't okay, but that just added to it.
I was under the impression that he was all for the boyfriend.
He let him come over to the house. He went with us to my aunt's house on Easter.
That's where I got my input about
Well, then
the
what
boyfriend.
happened? Then there must have been something that happened. If he was in favor of the boyfriend or was not opposed to the boyfriend, he must have found something out. What did he find out? Find out about the baby?
About the baby. He knew he had the baby.
Right.
No, he knew that.
That's-
He knew
there
that.
we go.
Hey!
Thank
Excuse
you.
me.
Listen, Vanessa.
Thank you.
You didn't.
knew
You
he had-
misunderstood what she said.
He knew that my boyfriend had a baby.
He approved
wasn't
of
against
the
it.
boyfriend. He approved of him. I'm serious.
He told me that I could still hang around him if he got a court order with child support and did everything through court. He pays child support for his daughter. He does
Just a
everything
second.
right.
Just
he
a
told
second.
me
He can't
if-
pay child support. Hold on a second. This is getting more interesting by the moment. Mr. Palmer, Mr. Palmer, just a second. Just a second. What you just said to me is, even after he found out about the baby, he said, you could still hang around with him, but I want him to act responsibly towards the baby. I want him to get an order of support and pay
He
it.
already does.
No. Is that what your father said to you?
Yes.
Is that what your father said to you?
He said that if he had a court order for child support and a court-ordered visitation, then it would be okay.
That sounds pretty...
He
That sounds pretty reasonable to me, sir. I wouldn't be so reasonable, I tell you that right now.
Well,
The reason he didn't go through court, he pays child support and he has visitation. They have a written agreement between the two of them. The reason he doesn't take her to court is because his family is totally against that. So,
You are getting yourself into such a barrel of horse manure. I can't tell you. And to see a mother stand there in an approving manner about this whole thing is, to me, bizarre. Mr. Palmer, listen to me, sir. All I can suggest to you, sir, is to keep your door open for your daughter.
he changed the locks.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Palmer wants his teenage daughter, Vanessa, to meet her responsibilities by paying for the car she took when she moved out of his home.
All I can suggest to you, sir, is to keep your door open for your daughter. She is, at this point in her life, making a tragic mistake. Tragic.
yes.
I will not be able to get through to her. You have not been able to get through to her.
Nope.
She's got a mother who's got her head someplace in the clouds somewhere,
Very true.
right?
Correct.
Right?
Very
But
true.
I'm telling you, Vanessa, you find yourself with a 6-month-old baby, madam. Your life is over. And you're a very pretty girl, and you sound like an intelligent girl. You sound like you probably do well in school. You have a job in addition to going to school, which suggests to me that you're motivated. You have a certain responsibility because you pay for your own car insurance. And I'm telling you, you hook your star to a loser, that makes you a loser. And any 20-year-old guy who's dumb enough to have a 6-month-old baby is a loser.
He's going to become a fireman. He's not a
He's
loser.
right now
Yeah.
listen.
What?
Listen, gonna become a fireman isn't making him a fireman now. Right now, he's a 20-year-old on disability with a
It wasn't his
6-month-old
He
baby.
broke his ankle.
Listen to me.
This is
Say
him.
nothing. Are you the boyfriend?
Yes.
You the boyfriend? I would suggest that you keep.
Farmer, a father and daughter, are fighting over the car she took when she moved in with her mother.
Mr. Palmer, I have to dismiss your lawsuit, and I'm going to tell you why, sir. I was really hoping that when I looked at these papers, I could get beyond your lawsuit and see what this was all about and maybe resolve it. I can't. I mean, I can't. She's going to have to come to terms with that herself, but your daughter's 17. She's a minor. And you cannot get a judgment against a minor because right now you are her legal guardian, correct?
True.
So if I were to give you a judgment against your daughter as her legal guardian, you would be responsible for it. Do you understand that?
You're suing yourself.
Be suing yourself.
Do you understand that? She's a minor.
No, I do not.
Well,
I just sue a minor,
listen to me.
you
I don't
sue
know.
the legal guardian.
Hey!
Whatever.
She does not reach the age of majority in this or any other jurisdiction until she turns the minimal age of 18, which means you cannot get a judgment against her. You can get a judgment, however, if she's committed a tort or something else against her guardian. But you, sir, are her lawful guardian. So if I were to give you a judgment against your daughter, you would have to pay it. That sounds kind of stupid, doesn't it? Since you're paying anyway. Now, you can, sir, wait until your daughter turns 18. And then in equity, if you still want to, you can reinstitute this suit. But right now, you cannot sue your daughter. I don't think it was without some value, Mr. Palmer. I don't think that getting this piece out was without some value. I think that your daughter, Vanessa, will at least think a little bit. Vanessa, I have never, in the thousands of times that I've seen young women like you, in cases like yours, it's not unique, I have never seen one of them where the woman, young woman, doesn't find herself behind the 8 ball. And you may be angry with your dad, but if this is all over the boy, and I gather it is, he's right, you're wrong, you'll figure that out in 5 years' time. Unfortunately, in 5 years' time, it may be too late, which is really what he's saying. And if your mother doesn't see that, she's got clouded vision. This case is dismissed, that's all.
So excuse, you may step out. Parties on Douglas versus White. Step forward, please.
50-year-old Christian minister Joseph Douglas is suing Christina White, claiming he felt he was a prisoner in the room he rented. He accuses Christina of violence and invasion of privacy. Christina is countersuing for damage to the room and mental and sexual harassment.
Order, all rise. Judges, number 80 on the calendar in the matter of Douglas versus White. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat, ma'am. Have a seat.
Mr. Douglas, I've read your complaint. I've read your response. Ms. White, don't understand a lot of it. What I gather, sir, is that you rented a room from the defendant.
That's correct.
And things, according to your complaint, became untenable there. You moved out.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're suing the defendant for $5,000.
Yes.
You rented him a room. You say he moved out owing you a month's rent because he didn't give you 30 days' notice. So you're suing him for $5,000.
Plus sexual harassment.
Well, my limit is $5,000, so I assume that everything that you're suing for is part of your $5,000.
That's correct.
This better be good. Let's go.
It's pretty good. I moved in. When I went to apply for the room, I asked for no drinking, no smoke, or little smoking, and no violence of any kind.
Is this a private house?
Yes, it is.
All right.
This was just at the time of the application.
Excuse me?
This was at the time of the application for the room. There were 3 people there, the defendant, Rose, her witness, and another gentleman.
Okay. So what happened?
The first month I moved in, it was pretty calm, but thereafter it just got worse.
How did it get worse?
The defendant fought with her roommate constantly in the middle of the night. They'd get drunk and fight. They'd throw chairs at each other, beat each other up. This was happening every night.
So why didn't you just tell them you were leaving?
I couldn't afford to at the time.
Just a second. What do you mean you couldn't afford to?
I'm on a fixed income, and it was costing me $450 a month to live there. I didn't have enough money to move, period.
Well, how much did it cost you to move in?
$450. That was, she gave me a break. I just had to pay the first month's rent and half of the second month.
So you didn't have much of an investment in there, so why couldn't you just move out?
No place else would do that. I had to have first and last month.
Well,
And
that's not the defendant's fault, sir.
I didn't blame the defendant for that.
Well, so
I just could not afford to move.
So what are you
until I moved.
suing the defendant for $5,000 for?
Because she didn't take it. The money that I paid her was supposed to go as part of the rent or part of the mortgage payment. It never got paid.
What does that have to do with you?
A lot, when the mortgage company's going to throw me out.
What does that have to do with you? You're giving her $450. I'm trying to figure out where this $5,000 number came from.
Well, on top of the not paying the rent, my electricity was shut off.
When?
The last part of January.
And how many months had you been living there?
3 months at that time.
How come the electricity got shut off?
Because he took over control of my house. He told all the tenants, because I got notice of trustee's sale, because I'd been trying to save my house after divorce. He got all the tenants together and said, you don't have to pay rent, you don't have to pay any utilities. And they didn't at that point. They all stopped.
Why did he tell the people that they didn't have to pay rent?
Because he said because my house was being supposedly foreclosed, and it didn't.
Oh. So you found, let me understand this. You found out, sir, that the house was in foreclosure.
He took...
Just a minute.
Okay.
You found out that the house was in foreclosure.
Yes.
And you had a conversation with the other tenants that if the house was in foreclosure, they didn't have to pay.
No.
That's incorrect. I'm sorry.
Who are you?
I'm the witness. I lived in the household at the same time.
Okay, I'll get to you then.
Thank you.
That's important. Did you step up here? One question.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you pay rent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you pay electric?
Yes, ma'am.
You have your proof of that?
I did not bring that. I didn't know I was going to be on trial myself.
When this person moved out, they owed me 2.5 months out of the 4 months they were there. And I'm suing...
This
yes,
lady?
that person right there owes me over 2.5 months. They didn't pay diddly squat to me. And they moved in with this guy.
You have proof?
I do have proof, but it's in Sacramento.
That you paid the last 2 months' rent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did not happen.
Sit down. Are you currently living with him?
Yes, ma'am.
Not with. We're sharing an apartment. Yeah, I want that.
I still don't know where we get $5,000 from, Mr. Douglas.
The electricity was shut off. She shut it off. It wasn't shut off because of the thing. I had to have it turned back on.
So
she stole several of my own personal things
like
from
what?
me. From I have a list. Would you like to see it?
Sure. A miniature pulpit? What is that?
A friend of mine had a pulpit made for me, a small one.
Why would your friend do that?
Because I'm a minister, or was a minister at the time he had it made.
How long ago was that?
2 years.
What kind of a minister?
A Christian minister.
I mean, did you have a congregation?
No, I was a counselor.
Counselor for whom?
Marriage counselor.
I'm going to, listen to me. I'm going to read you a few things, and I want you to tell me whether you have any of these things. Ready?
I'm ready.
A miniature pulpit.
That was left in the room and it's still there.
So it's there, ready for him to get.
Yes, I took pictures.
Vinyl and wire lampstand.
That was left in the room. I have pictures.
Cookie jar.
That is in my case right here. It was left in the room.
Shh. 2-slice toaster.
That was left in the kitchen where it was left.
Just say, I tell you what,
In
just
kitchen.
say yes.
Yeah.
Just say yes that you have it, okay? Sorted couch pillows.
No.
Lavender blanket.
No.
A year's worth of new magazines.
Left in room.
Footstool.
My property. Extortion.
Your property.
My property.
Okay. Computer, monitor, and stand base. Do you have that?
No, I don't.
Set of 4 relaxation tapes.
No,
Do you
I
have
don't
that?
have this.
All right. You now know what she has. Shep. You now know what she has, and we'll make arrangements for you to go pick them up. Now, what else are you suing her for?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
What do you mean you didn't know who this person was?
I didn't know this person was a man.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Minister Joseph Douglas says he rented a room from Christina White but felt trapped in a nightmare. Christina says Joseph was the problem.
Now, what else are you suing her for? So far, I haven't heard anything near $5,000 worth. All that merchandise that she has, you can have back. I still have. Stop looking at your papers. Tell me where $5,000 is, Mr. Douglas.
Your Honor, I went through pure hell living in that house for 4 months.
Then you should have moved, sir.
I couldn't afford to.
That's not her fault.
Well, it is her fault.
No, sir. She didn't charge you. She didn't charge
me
you.
something when I moved in there, Your Honor.
Okay.
And she didn't fulfill that agreement.
Okay.
And I have a witness to that, too, or a statement from the other witness.
I don't read statements from witnesses. I hear witnesses. I don't take statements from witnesses. So far, if you moved into an apartment, $450 a month rent. She didn't charge you security.
300 a month.
$300 a month. She didn't charge you security. She didn't charge you first and last. You didn't bring in a whole bunch of stuff, according to you. And if you couldn't afford to move out, she wasn't saying to you, she didn't keep you prisoner there. You could have moved out. Because you can't sue her for $5,000 because you were unhappy there, sir. You're unhappy, you move. This is America. All right, you are countersuing him for what?
I am countersuing for the damage to my room and house.
Do you what?
For the damage to my room and house. He left the room filthy, and I have pictures of how the room was left and the stuff he left in the room here, if you care to see some of that. May I?
Come on, get somewhere near $5,000, madam.
Okay. We're getting to that right now.
Well, then let's get to it, because this
Okay.
other stuff is nonsense.
Okay.
He
This
wasn't
is-
happy living there. You weren't happy having him there. He left, period. End of discussion.
I wish that had been the end of it, ma'am. The mental and sexual harassment.
Well, you can tell me about that.
First of all, when he left, that was a bit of a charade. He promised me a note that he would pay. He sent someone else to pick up the stuff the next day. And then the day after that, on the 9th, he sent me this threatening, harassing note. And he
Show it
ends
to him and see
with a
if
note
he-
with, "Have a nice day. It may well be one of your last."
Did you
And
send
that's-
that note, sir?
Yes, I did.
Can I see it, please? Dear Charles and Christine,
All of his correspondence has been addressed that way. The small claims court was addressed that way.
why do you address the mail like this, sir?
Because that's the way I filed it in court, and I wanted the court to know that I didn't know who this person was until a month before I moved out. That's why I'm angry.
What do you mean you didn't know who this person was?
I didn't know this person was a man.
Because, just a second.
Order.
What? But why, sir, would you address mail?
Because I didn't know whose name to send it in, Your Honor.
Well, how was this person introduced to you? How did you...
Christine.
You identified yourself as Christine.
Christine, yes. Totally.
All the time?
All the time. 100%.
Not all the time, Your Honor.
100%.
When she was at home, it was whatever.
I have a witness here that would dispute that. That's ridiculous.
Listen, have you officially changed your gender?
Everything, my legal gender, as shown in my driver's license,
Is female?
changed. Yes, it is.
Okay, and when was
And
that
that's-
done?
About 4 years ago.
Okay. Am I correct that the sexual harassment that you are referring to is the fact that he has addressed documents that he's sent out to people using both your female name and the name
My
Charles?
previous married name, yes.
Okay.
That is just the beginning of it.
Go ahead.
Him and this other person co-conspired to get me fired at my job. They filed 2 Better Business Bureau complaints alleging, Diane was the first one, alleging went into my store and found this person who was, quote, a man dressed as a woman.
Let me see.
And it has my business response to it, and this is also, he followed with the next day one that alleged the same thing. And everything was fraudulent. They said they could talk to my supervisor. It did not happen.
I don't know what this is about. You want to tell me?
This is about them, this person here, claiming they came in my store and saw me as some stranger, and I've known that person for 2
Just a minute.
years.
I'm talking about this gentleman. Forget about her.
Okay.
She's not party to this action.
He followed up with the same identical thing.
No, Your Honor, that's not true.
It's right there in black and white.
I wrote the letter, but I wrote it because I objected to this person working in the women's department.
Just a second. You wrote to the Better Business Bureau advising them that the defendant was working in the women's department of a store.
Yes.
And she was actually a man, and you thought that that was wrong.
Yes, I did.
Why did you do that?
Because I think it's wrong.
Did I hear you correctly? Did you just curse in here?
I might have.
Get out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
But I think you've got a lot of nerve with this. This is pretty vindictive. This is pretty vindictive and pretty nasty.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Minister Joseph Douglas and Christina White are at war over rent, invasion of privacy, and allegations of sexual harassment.
That was typical of the situation I lived in. I couldn't do anything.
Then you should have left.
I tried.
Oh, please, give me a break.
I didn't have the money.
That's too bad. That's too bad. That's not her fault. That's not my fault. How old are you, sir?
50.
If you're 50 years old and you didn't have $400 to move out and find another place to live, that's a real problem.
Your Honor.
What?
It would have taken $1,200 to move.
Didn't cost you $1,200 to move into her
I got lucky,
apartment.
or I thought I had.
Well, you thought you got lucky, and you didn't.
Obviously.
And you didn't. But I think you got a lot of nerve with this. This is pretty vindictive. This is pretty vindictive. Just a second. Pretty vindictive and pretty nasty. This having.
I still object to her working there. I don't care if it's vindictive or nasty to anybody else. She shouldn't be working in a woman's department.
What? Where did you go to divinity school, sir? Where did you
Florida.
graduate from divinity school?
Florida.
What?
Florida.
Give me the name of the school. Just a second. Give me the name of the school.
United Faith Ministry.
United
Bible,
Faith
Yes, Bible College.
And how long did you go to this United
3
Faith
years.
Ministry? When?
1986 through 1989.
Did you graduate from there?
Yes, ma'am.
After 3 years?
Yes.
Divinity school?
Yes.
Where did you go to school before that? You don't go to divinity school for 3 years, sir.
Well, I did.
You don't
Your
get a
Honor.
Doctor of Divinity in 3 years. Unless you get your Doctor of Divinity and close the cover before you strike.
I do not have a DD, Your Honor.
Huh?
That's a Doctor of Divinity.
Yeah? So what are
Mine
you?
is in religion. It's a PhD, and it's an honorary PhD, but it's still valid.
Right. I just want to make sure we understand each
Okay.
other, sir. Because I understand you. This is a vindictive thing to do. What else?
Well, basically my job was pretty much ruined his career, ruined that
Did you
place.
get fired from your job?
Not
Good.
yet, but it's going
Oh,
back.
that's something.
Okay, I
Let
have
me see
also
the
my
letter.
counseling. I've had to start counseling because of what they've done. I mean, sexual harassment and what happened at my work. Because I used to go to work and feel happy, and now I go there and I just feel like I've been raped at my work by this man and this other person.
Yeah.
Thank you. And caused breach of contract by lieutenants by saying that they didn't have to pay rent or utilities, and that's the only reason is I ran out
Listen
of
to
money.
me. I'm not entertaining that. The fact that he told other tenants that they did not have to pay rent or utilities, and they listened to him
Yes,
because
they did.
because they were stupid. Go after them in a separate action, each one
Yes.
of them for money that they owe you.
I
What else?
He interfered with my mortgage contract when they tried to serve me the trustee sale notice, and I was home. He stopped him from doing that, and he got the notice, and he read it, and had him put it on the door. He actually said I wasn't home.
They posted the notice. That's all it was,
After
Your
you
Honor.
told him I wasn't home, you lied.
They had already posted it.
You lied. I was home.
She's ready to rule.
Listen to me. He has, as abhorrent as I believe it is, he has a right to voice his objection as a citizen under the First Amendment to the Better Business Bureau with regard to someone who he knows is a man who is now a woman working in a woman's shop.
Well, he didn't know that from me, Your Honor.
Well, he may not have known it from you, but that happens to be true. So he has a First Amendment right to write to the Better Business Bureau. His motives, I question, just as I question his reverendship. All right. But that is not actionable. It's not sexual harassment. He's saying that he finds that not a reasonable situation to have you working in a woman's department in a store. Now, I don't know what business is it of his unless he goes in to buy ladies' things and goes into the dressing room, but he's allowed to do that because that's what the First Amendment to the Constitution says he's allowed to do. Listen, you get nothing from this court, sir. Absolutely, positively nothing except within 4 days, escorted. You can go and retrieve the items that you will please have put to one side someplace so we can pick up all the items that he has left in your apartment.
Right, my house.
Now, most of the damages that you are requesting from this court have to do with this harassment and making your life miserable.
Yes. Inside and out.
Inside and out. He left without giving you 30 days notice. Is that correct?
That's correct.
I had a 3-day or quit notice, Your Honor, so I left.
You didn't leave within 3 days. You hung on.
Just a minute.
Okay.
He left. I would assume, Miss White, that you are very happy to be rid of him.
Very.
That you didn't want him around for an additional 30 days. Correct?
I actually offered he could stay there if he promised to catch up on the rent.
Just a second. From everything that you've told me, you were very happy that he moved out when he didn't stay an additional 30 days.
Sure. I mean, at that
Good.
point, yes.
Give him back everything that you owe him. This case is dismissed.
On Madsen versus Maher, step forward, please.
48-year-old teacher Judy Madsen wants her ex-husband Don Marr to pay for their 10-year-old daughter's many medical bills. Marr, a computer programmer, says his ex-wife is a hypochondriac and is raising their daughter to be one.
Order, all rise. Judges number 104 on the calendar in the matter of Madsen versus Maher. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat, ma'am.
Miss Madsen, you and the defendant were married for how long?
15 years.
And how long are you divorced?
About 3 years, 4 years.
You have a 10-year-old daughter together.
Right.
Do you have any other children?
No.
Do you, sir?
I have a stepson.
But you have no other biological children?
No.
According to your complaint, Miss Madsen, your judgment of divorce provides that your former husband pay 1/2 of any unreimbursed medical bills.
Correct.
In addition to child support.
Mm-hmm.
And he does pay child support faithfully, according to your answer, sir. Is
Yes,
that right?
Yes, ma'am.
How much do you pay in child support for your daughter?
$420 a month.
And according to your complaint, you have liberal visitation with the child.
About 30% of the time.
Give me the times. Is it weekends?
Wednesday, overnight, weekends, split holidays, half Christmas,
And you avail yourself of all of your visitation?
as much as I can.
Is that true?
He doesn't on all of them. The last 2-week visitation he had, he only took a week.
But most of the time he sees her every
most of
week.
the time. And he's always there on time.
Good. All right, Ms. Madsen, you say that he has not paid some of the unreimbursed medical bills.
Correct.
I'd like you to tell me which bills those were.
Here, I have a summary on top so you can see. Some of them are for prescription. Some of them are for therapy, for speech therapy. Some of them are for the deductible on the chiropractic.
Well, let's talk about all these bills. These are very heavy bills without looking through them. Does your daughter suffer from any handicap?
No.
Then why does she have all of these medical bills?
These bills are over about a 2-year period. They're not just in the last 6 months.
Even so. First of all, can you tell me why the child goes to a chiropractor?
Her back hurts, and her neck hurts.
Who suggested that a chiropractor was necessary for a 10-year-old child?
No one. I go every week, and she had complained for about a year about her back. And I suggested that she give the chiropractic a try, and if it didn't work, that we wouldn't do it anymore.
Why do you go to the chiropractor every week?
Because I have slight scoliosis, and my back hurts, my neck hurts.
Quite frankly, Ms. Matson, I never heard of anybody taking a 9 or a 10-year-old child to a chiropractor because their back hurt if it was undiagnosed by a doctor as a specific problem. Your first response should have been taking the child to an orthopedist, having a set of x-rays taken, and if it was something that had to be addressed by a chiropractor, it's addressed by a chiropractor. Let's hear about some of these other bills that you have.
There's medication for Ritalin. She's been diagnosed as ADHD.
When was she diagnosed as ADT?
She was diagnosed by her pediatrician, her therapist, by 2 separate therapists.
Which
and by
therapist?
her, Dr. Andrea Christensen.
When was that? How old was she when she was diagnosed with attention deficit disorder?
7.
And what prompted you to take her to a therapist?
I'm a teacher, and I work with first grade children at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm aware of how children are when they don't pay attention.
So you're telling me that the child has been on Ritalin for 3 years?
Right.
Was she retested?
Yes.
When?
This last spring by her teacher.
By who?
Well, her teacher fills out a paper having to do with her ability to pay attention.
Teachers don't make evaluations with
No, they
regard
don't
to
make
whether a child needs medication.
You're absolutely right. They do not. But they do report to the doctor whether the child is able to stay in her seat, whether she's able to complete her classwork, and how she is performing.
Well, I would assume that if you've had the child on Ritalin, that the child was doing fine.
Right, she is.
So if the child was doing fine, why wouldn't you want to try to wean her off the Ritalin at age 10 to see if it was a problem of short duration?
She has, from time to time, not taken her Ritalin when she's gone to school in the morning, not known to me. And I've gotten a call from the teacher that night wanting to know what was going on with our daughter and why she was so inattentive at school.
Yes.
How old was she when that occurred?
This is just this last year.
Why wasn't I informed?
Don't talk to her.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Ritalin is overprescribed. You ring a bell, 40% of the class gets up or runs into the nurse to get their pill.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 48-year-old Don Marr says his ex-wife Judy Matson is turning their 10-year-old daughter into a hypochondriac, and he will not be responsible for unnecessary medical bills.
Office visit, Dr. Walker. Who's Dr. Walker?
And that's her pediatrician.
That's on the 5th. Is that you don't know whether that was June 5th of 96?
It was probably a check on the Ritalin.
Well, then you
Oh,
had,
you know, it's
you had
probably
another
95.
office visit. You had another office visit less than 6 weeks later, the same doctor.
She suffers from chronic ear infections and allergies. And she has had episodes of problems breathing. And at one time she had a fever over 5 days, and she was tested for valley fever. And
what kind of fever did she have over 5 days?
Apparently it was a virus. But at the time, the doctor thought it might be pneumonia. She sent me
pneumonia
down.
you check by going for an x-ray.
We went and had an x-ray. And it was clear. And the doctor suspected that it was
then it wasn't pneumonia. If you had the x-ray, and the x-ray is clear, then you know you don't have pneumonia.
Correct.
So then it's something that goes away.
But it didn't go away in 4 days. And so...
Sometimes it doesn't go away in 4 days.
Well, and I called her back,
Sometimes it
and she
takes a week.
tested her for tuberculosis and valley fever, both of those.
But it went away after 5 days.
Right.
So all that was really unnecessary to put the child through all of that stuff.
Well, the first initial visit wasn't unnecessary.
The next one is May 18th of 95.
Right.
Prescription multivitamin fluoride.
Right.
What is that?
It's a fluoride tab that is prescribed by her physician, supported by her dentist for healthy teeth. Fluoride tablets that she chews after she has brushed her teeth. She has hypercalcified teeth.
Then we go to therapy, Christensen. There are several therapies that prior to that.
Right.
What kind of a doctor is Christensen?
She's a family therapist, and I took her initially with the divorce.
Why are you still seeing, she's still seeing this Christensen in 1996?
There has been a death in her grandfather. Her grandfather passed away, and she had difficulty dealing with that.
When was that?
That was almost a year ago, in
My
September.
father, Your Honor, died in September.
Yeah, but she's been going to see this Christensen all along. It didn't make any difference whether there was
Since
a death
August
or not.
of '93.
According to your bills here, it's at least every week that she goes to see this
At
therapist.
first it was. It was almost every week, but now she goes about once a month.
Ventolin.
That's for asthma.
She has asthma?
Yes.
She been diagnosed as having asthma?
Right.
Do you know anything about that, sir?
Never witnessed it, never saw it, paid for the appliances, paid for the stuff. I've never seen that little girl wheeze. I've seen her have a runny nose. That's it.
Just a second.
It's absurd. I see her a third of the time.
Just
I
a second.
should witness at least one episode. You'd think.
Ms. Madsen, I'm just reading this over because I was disturbed when I read these papers, quite frankly. And I wanted to look through your records. Let's take 1996. You have an office visit with the pediatrician on February 13th of 96. You have an office visit with the pediatrician on February 28th, 96. You have an office visit with the pediatrician on March 15th of 96. You have an office visit with the pediatrician on April 1st. As a matter of fact, there are 2 office visits listed for April 1st. You have another office visit on April 26th with the pediatrician. You have another office visit on May 28th with the pediatrician. You have another office visit on August 1st with the pediatrician. You have another office visit. No, there are none other listed here. So those are the office visits that you have with the pediatrician. All right, Mr. Maher, I'd like to hear from you, sir.
This is a patient consultant text for the 2 drugs that I refused to pay for. The Ritalin, that's the toothpaste and the vitamins. Because I believe you could use Crest and a vitamin and get bottled water, and that would go away. I believe her back problems would go away if she would stand tall, put a book on her head.
Well, you're not a doctor either. She has
No, I'm
pains.
not.
She has pains in her back. Yeah, go ahead.
A little common sense would go a long way.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
When it appears to me that a child is overly involved with the medical profession, bells go off in my head. I guess it's part of my training.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Judy Madsen is fighting with her ex-husband Don Marr over whether he should pay half of their daughter's extraordinary medical bills. Don says Judy is turning their daughter into a hypochondriac.
What else, sir?
There's a set of bills from June 23rd, 1996 in our correspondence. And basically, I refused to pay bills that were older than 30 days. She had gotten really lax. There are bills in there that are a year. This is 1 week before I'm going to see the child. I get $465 worth of bills. That's going to ensure the fact that I can't do the things I'd planned. So I paid 30 days and said, I'm not paying the rest, Judy. I'm not paying that, I'm not paying that, I'm not paying that. And she says, well, why not? You're the father, you're supposed to pay. And I said,
he's never
because
said.
I am a responsible parent, I can't. I mustn't pay.
What else? Because I don't think that that's what you're complaining about, sir.
No, I'm really complaining about the misuse of my daughter. I'm really complaining about taking her to this doctor and that doctor and this doctor and running her all around, and she can't be a kid. That's really what I'm angry about. And I'm angry. It's got to stop. I don't know how. Don't know how to make this stop. I think as far as the other bills...
I can think of several ways, sir, that seem to be reasonable. Do you have a copy of your judgment of divorce, either one of you?
I do.
May I take a look at it, please? This was an agreement that you hammered out between the two of you, I assume, either through mediation or by attorneys. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Attorneys.
Through attorneys. You're not supposed to smile when you say that, sir. Look, I do not get the sense, Miss Madsen, that your former husband wants to be anything but a good parent to this child and wants to be remiss in his financial responsibility. I say that because he is faithful in paying his child support. He does pay for certain of her medical and dental bills. He does pay for her orthodontic bills. He does pay for other bills. I will tell you that I was concerned when I read your papers. I'll tell you why. Whenever I see a child, a young child who is otherwise healthy, go to a doctor as frequently as your daughter does and have as many kinds of prescription medications as your daughter has, even though some of them can be acquired over the counter with a little bit of imagination. When a child is taken to a chiropractor without any specific referral by an orthopedist, when it appears to me that a child is overly involved with the medical profession, bells go off in my head. I guess it's part of my training. That sometimes there's a problem not so much with the child, but with the custodial parent.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I don't think that he has to pay anything for this child's chiropractor unless he was consulted and was satisfied that that was a reasonable thing and a necessary treatment for his child. Now, I wouldn't say that with all parents who come before me, because I would say, listen, he may withhold his consent, and that would be unreasonable. But because of his history of payment and of visiting the child regularly and being involved with the child, my sense is that Mr. Maher would not deny his only biological child with the necessary medical treatment that she needs. I tell you now that the reasons that you give for your daughter seeing this, continuing to see this is it Miss Christensen or Mr. Christensen?
Miss Christensen.
I am not satisfied with those reasons. I can absolutely see why a child going through a period of divorce would be served well if both parents are involved, initially and for a brief period of time, some ongoing family counseling. It's not to be used as a lifelong crutch. If you have a child who suffers from ADD, and unfortunately, I believe that that is a highly over-touted illness today. Mm-hmm. And as far as I'm concerned, the child should not be on Ritalin unless the child is tested.
She has been tested.
No. Not in 3 years, except for a teacher who writes up reports. A teacher.
No, her therapist, she went to 2 different therapists and her pediatrician.
A psychiatrist?
Yes.
A psychiatrist? A PhD?
No.
Show me.
No,
I'd love to see the
just
report.
a second. There is nothing here. There is nothing here that suggests to me that this child saw, other than Dr.
paid the bill.
Other than Dr. Christensen, a psychiatrist, that's an MD.
That's because he paid the bill, Your Honor.
What I'm telling you is, I think any parent who keeps a child on Ritalin for anywhere near approaching a year without testing to ensure that it is absolutely necessary for this child is making a tragic mistake Ritalin is overprescribed. 40% of kids, 12 o'clock in school today, you ring a bell, 40% of the class gets up and runs into the nurse to get their pill. And I want to tell you something. I sat in the family court for 15 years, and I was in the family court for almost a quarter of a century. And these kinds of medications are prescribed at least as often for the parents as they are for the children. That's a problem. Once you begin to believe that you can use a therapist as a crutch, and that starts as early as 5 and 6 and 7, and your child has been in therapy for 3 years, and I haven't seen any reason why. So I'm not ordering you to pay for therapy. And what I am telling you is, in the future, would be my judgment, unless it's an emergency, before you incur any medical expense that you expect him to contribute to, you discuss it with him and get his approval. And if you cannot get his approval, then the two of you sit down and decide, call up the American Medical Association, get the name of the top specialist in your area. The two of you go, have a consultation. You choose one. Choose two. Have your consultation, and let the best therapist, the best professional in the area make a judgment as to whether this medical procedure is necessary. Aside from that, I'm not ordering to pay anything. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Parties on Creech versus Daniels. Step forward, please.
Susan Creech is suing Thomas Daniels, her 48-year-old live-in lover of 8 years. Susan says Daniels left her just a month after she bought him a Camaro. Daniels, a driver by occupation, took the car with him.
Order. All rise. Quiet, please. All rise. Your Honor, this is number 20 on the calendar in the matter of Creech versus Daniels. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated.
All right, Miss Creech, you were in a relationship with this gentleman for about 7 years, according to your complaint.
Yes.
And towards the end of that relationship, you say you lent him money to buy a car.
Right.
$4,000 to buy the car, and another $1,100 for what?
For stereo and an alarm.
And how much after you made this loan to him did you separate?
About a month and a half.
You couldn't tell that there was handwriting on the wall?
No.
No?
No, I guess he could, but I couldn't.
You, sir, say that this was a gift.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
So?
Not.
Tell me how it came about.
Okay. We had a car that we bought together, a Trans Am that we were going to sell.
A Trans Am?
The deal was he came home on March 28th and he took off with the car.
Which car?
The Trans Am, with his friend, supposedly to show it to somebody to sell. But actually, it went down to another woman's house. And so then he, the next morning, he took off with the Camaro.
Just a minute. How did we get to the Camaro? I want to know how you bought the Camaro.
I bought it with, my dad died and he left me some money. And it was in a separate account with my name on it. And I wrote the check to the company.
How did you find
cash.
this Camaro?
Oh, we were shopping for parts at a wreckage company and they had the car for sale. And it was
This was about a month before you separated.
Right.
So
it was on
what was the
Valentine's
conversation
Day.
like when you saw this car?
Well, we were looking at the car and he said, God, this is a good deal for $4,000 and it's 10 years younger or older, younger than what I already have. And so I said, well, let's think about it, because at the time he had quit his job and he wasn't working. And I said, if you get a job, then we'll get the car. Well, Monday came, he told me he had a job, which was a big lie. And then he went back to
What did he say to you? He got a job doing what?
Driving a truck like he always does.
And you were living together at this time?
Yeah.
And you lived together the entire 7-year period?
On and off.
Okay, go ahead.
So anyway, on Thursday, the previous Thursday, he told me I have a job and I start Monday. So I believed him like an idiot. And Monday came and went, and so did the job. And then he went in and he has a drinking problem. He went in and he told me they decided not to accept me because, you know, the insurance wouldn't accept him.
What do you mean?
Well,
you mean
when
the
you
insurance for the trucking job?
Right, because he had a DUI like 10 years ago on his record.
Okay.
So, but the time was a little fishy, like when he left to when he went to this job. So amazing, he comes back to San Jose and he got his old job back, where he always gets it back.
You know what I mean? Because when he works well. It's when he doesn't work, he drinks. So we got the job back and started driving the truck. But I never got any money back.
Just a second. I still didn't hear how you bought the car.
Oh, then we went back to where this, car was for sale, and he had a job, and I wrote the check, and the deal was he was supposed to be paying me back some money, but the money never came.
Now, when you got the car, you paid for the full amount. Is that right? So far, is that correct, sir?
Paying for the full amount, it is, Your Honor.
Okay. And you put the car in whose name?
Jointly.
Joint?
Joint.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, so far, that's at least one smart thing that you did.
Yeah, once in my life, yeah.
Okay. And then a month later, you separated.
Right.
But he also wanted a stereo in the car and an alarm.
Well, a week or two after that, we went down to this place where we had bought stereos and alarms before and just had it put in. I put it on the Visa. It was $1,100. So that's how.
So this was 2 weeks before you separated.
We bought the car on the 14th of February, and we bought the stereo on the 22nd of February.
And when did you separate?
The 29th of March.
Not a long time.
No.
So now you've got a
new
nice
car.
new Camaro with a stereo and an alarm.
Yes, Your Honor.
And what caused you to separate?
Her story is pretty well to the point. There's a few things that are just kind of a little iffy on that. For one thing, the other car is a 76 Pontiac Firebird, not a Trans Am. There's a difference. Okay. And another thing, the part about getting a job never came up.
Let's start about the part about the car.
The car.
Such a lie.
The car.
Okay.
You
car.
are such a liar.
Car. Miss
Why
Creech,
would I buy a
Miss
car
Creech.
if he had no job
Miss Creech.
to pay me back? Such a liar.
Are we done?
No, we're
Yeah,
not done.
Miss Creech.
We're done.
If you want to talk to him, you go outside. If you want to talk to me, you can stay here.
Okay.
Thank
Is that
you.
fair?
Sure.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
7 years of this. Anyway, what I'm saying is there was no contract. We went to get parts for my car.
No contract with whom?
Her and I.
Let me have. You think that there should have been a contract
No,
between
no, no,
the
no,
two
no,
of you?
no. There shouldn't have been a contract because there was no question in my mind that
what?
That we were buying a car and it was going to be my car. She can't. Can you drive a stick?
Just a second.
Can you? She can't drive a stick, Your Honor.
What does that got to
Listen
do
to
with
me.
anything?
Listen to me. She said that you were buying this car because you were going to sell the old car that you had.
That's perfectly correct.
I know, because that's what you put in your answer.
Right, but the thing is, there was no time that I was going to sell the car. I said, I'm going to sell the car, which doesn't mean I had a buyer for it. The car is for sale right now.
The car's in Riverside.
Just a second. Shh.
The car has a for sale sign on it right now, Your Honor, in Riverside, at this young lady's house.
Yeah.
Okay?
Why do you think? And you have, so you have both cars.
Yes.
Let me understand this. Let me just put on my thinking cap and understand this whole thing. You have the Pontiac, right?
Correct, Your Honor.
You have the Camaro.
Correct, Your Honor.
You have the stereo.
Correct, Your Honor.
You have the alarm.
Correct, Your Honor.
She has the Visa bill.
Correct,
Right, just
Your
a
Honor.
second. She has the Visa bill. She has the Visa bill. She has the check stub for $4,000 and fond memories of you. That's what she has. You think that that's fair?
Your Honor.
No. Your Honor, I know who I am. Do you think that that's fair?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Why did you break up, sir?
I
That's
told
the
her
point.
either he goes or I go.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Thomas Daniel says his former live-in, Susan Creech, is mad because he left her after 8 years. Susan says he left with the Camaro she paid for.
So how are we going to make it fair, sir?
Well, if I can convince you that I...
Order.
You asked me a question earlier about...
If you could convince me what?
If I can convince you that there was no she bought this Friday we went and took a look at the car. We didn't talk about the car all weekend long. Monday she goes, do you want to go and let's go and get your car? And I never mentioned it to her. Not one word did I say to her. Friday we talked about it. We discussed it. I said, I'll put the Firebird up for sale.
Just a minute. Let's go back.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Stop.
Gotcha.
You said, you discussed it, and you said, I'll put the Firebird up for sale. Whatever we get to the Firebird, we can put towards this, and then we will pay it off.
No.
No.
No. I said I would put the Firebird up for sale.
For what?
Huh? Well, I can't drive both cars, Your Honor.
And what are we going to do with the money that you got from the Firebird?
Okay.
Oh,
We
not
had a
okay.
joint. We
Not
had a joint.
okay.
We
Answer
had,
my
Your Honor,
question.
we had a joint account.
Just a second.
My checks went with her account. Her checks went in her account. Okay? She had all the Visa
Just a
cards.
second. My checks, you just said, went with her account.
You're damn right.
And her check,
Your Honor, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
my checks went in her account, and her checks went in
Her account.
her account.
We had a joint account. Okay?
So that all the checks went together.
Right. Who had
You were going to sell the Firebird
and put it back
in the joint account.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's okay. So that you have money to pay for the Visa, the $1,100 paying
Very
off the
good.
Visa and all that stuff. Right? Just a minute. Am I right so far?
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, then you didn't sell the Firebird, and I am correct. She has the memories and the bills, and you have the cars and the stereo.
Correct.
So then what's the problem?
Ms. Creech?
Yes.
I don't see, quite frankly, sir, that there's any problem. You bought this car, and there was an understanding, a 7-year relationship. There was an understanding that you were going to use this car together. Evidently, you did the driving. She was the passenger in the car most of the time when you traveled together. You were going to have one car. You were going to sell the Firebird. You were going to have the Camaro, right?
She has her own car, Your Honor.
That's true, but I also have my own vehicles, which I drive.
She can't drive my car, Your Honor. She knew going into this deal, going into this proposition, that it was a stick, Your Honor. She can't drive a stick.
He always buys cars that have sticks. Every
They're-
single car
they're my
he's
vehicles.
ever owned. But
Just a second, if you buy, they're your vehicles, if you buy them, she bought this one, and you
With
say it was...
our money, Your Honor.
What do you mean with our- just a minute,
It was
she
a
says-
joint account. It was a joint account, Your Honor. It was our money.
Just a second.
My money went in there also. It was not just her money.
Hold on. $4,000. She said this $4,000 came from a
In 7 years' time, I
I'm
have
not
worked
talk-
more than $4,000, Your Honor.
No, we're not
I have
just
put
a minute.
money in this bank.
Just a second. Talking about the $4,000 that she took out of an account. Did she take that out of your joint account?
No.
No.
Well, then that wasn't your joint money.
Funny, we
We're
had
not
no
going
money
back
in
to
it,
the,
huh?
Listen, sir, we're not going back to the year of the flood. You were together 7 years. You ate a lot of meals during those 7 years.
Drank a lot
you
of
paid a
beer.
lot of rent. You whatever. She says you drank a lot of booze.
Lots.
Whatever it was, you lived over that 7 years. And you can't say, well, I must have given her $4,000 over that 7 years. That doesn't sound right to you. This $4,000, she says, came out of a probate account when someone in her family died and left her some money.
Right.
But is it your position that she bought you these things as a gift as a gift?
As a gift.
Why? Because she loved you?
Yeah.
And because she thought you were going to be together?
Yeah.
Okay. So that dream lasted another 4 weeks after she bought
But there's
you this
a lot
stuff.
more to it, Your Honor.
I know. I'm not interested in what happened 6 years ago and 5 years ago. What I want to know, sir, is what was the precipitous for your breaking up 4 weeks after you bought this car?
Okay, Your Honor.
That's me.
She has a son, a 19-year-old son who does not work, has been graduated out of school, does nothing more than run around with gangs, does nothing more than get stopped doesn't get stopped for tagging, gets thrown in jail for tagging. I've told her that she goes to work at 11 o'clock at night. I stay home and sleep.
Why did you break up, sir?
I
Get
told
to
her
the point.
either he goes or I go. Okay? He was staying. I said, hasta la vista. And I left.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
As long as I never have to see or hear from you again, I'm happy.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Ex-lover Susan Creech and Tom Daniels are fighting over the Camaro she bought just before they broke up.
2 weeks after I'm gone, she kicks him out of the house and then says to me, well, you were right.
Not 2 weeks.
Just a second. Just a second.
She says,
Hold
you're
it.
right. You're right.
Right.
I said, but what did it take me leaving the house for? Because we've been fighting about it for months, literally months. And it got to the point where I just said, hey, I'm beating my head against the wall. I come home here and try and get a good night's sleep, and all I'm doing is listening to boom boxes at 2:30 in the morning. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to go down there, and I got tired of threatening the kid. Okay? Doesn't prove that I'm a big man because I can threaten a 19-year-old kid. All right?
So
I got tired of it.
So why are you angry with her?
Angry with her?
Shh. Yeah, why are you angry with her? You gave her a choice.
Because I gave her all the warnings in the world.
let
Your
her
Honor, I gave her all the warnings in the world. I said, look, either he goes or I go. I gave her 30 days. 30 days came and passed. I gave her 60.
You have
what
children?
was I going to do?
You have children?
Do I have children? Of my
why
own, yes.
Why do you keep repeating
Yes,
my
Your Honor,
questions?
I do.
How old are your children, sir?
21, 27, and 16, I guess.
What do you mean you guess?
I don't see them.
You don't see them?
No.
Why is that?
I don't see my children.
Well,
that's not fair.
Then let me suggest this to you, sir. It's very difficult for a parent, in this case a mother, to be faced with an ultimatum, even from a maid of 7 years, that says it's either your son or me. When you say you got 30 days to choose your son or me, even though he's a pain in the neck, listen, that's not an easy choice for a mother to make. She clearly cared for you. She cared enough for you, and she doesn't look like a lady who's got money coming out of every pore. So she clearly cared enough for you to go out and say, you want this car, you really like it, here's $4,000, I'm going to buy this car because I know it will make you happy if we have this car. And you also like a nice stereo in the car, I'm going to take money out for that too, so that you can have a nice stereo in the car. So she's clearly a lady who cared for you. But when you tell her you got 30 days to choose between him or me, even if this son of hers is a real royal pain in the rump, which I believe he probably is.
He was.
Right? Because
So was he.
afterwards you told him out. It's not easy to accept that kind of ultimatum from anybody when it comes to a child.
Well, the problem was, though, he had plenty of chances. He's done some really choice things in his life. I felt like I was giving everybody chances. But he's such a selfish person, he has to have everything to himself. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's not a very difficult decision to make. You left, you had been having problems, according to your statement, Mr. Daniels, for months with regard to this boy.
So why did he take both cars? I'd like to know why.
I wasn't planning on leaving one to have it trashed.
Oh, come on.
Oh, come on. How about the
Mr. Daniels,
how about the
Mr.
Firebird?
Daniels.
How about the Fiaro? How about the Fiaro? Who keyed the Fiaro?
Me.
Thank you. I'm going to leave a Pontiac sitting there by itself, Your Honor.
Why would I?
For this woman to key up again?
Mr. Daniels,
Doesn't make any
Mr.
sense.
Daniels,
It still wasn't her car.
Why didn't you leave her the Camaro?
Pardon me?
Because he wanted
What, just a second. What word didn't you understand?
I wanted the Camaro.
Because
Yeah, but just a...
Good,
You wanted the Camaro, Mr. Daniels, but she paid for it. But she paid for it. If you were leaving after 4 weeks, it seems to me a little disingenuous of you, sir, to leave and take a car that she had just purchased for a woman, an engagement ring. That's given under a sort of a contract that they have, that they will be together and that they will marry. And in the event that that marriage does not take place, it has always been my position that the ring has to go back to the man. Now, a lot of women say, listen, he gave that to me, it was a gift. But the gift was given with the intention, that ring was given with the intention of the marriage taking place. When that doesn't happen, the contract is over. This car was bought in contemplation of the two of you being together. Maybe if you had been together for 20 years, I would say, well, you know, you were together for 20 years after you bought this car, so that was sort of fulfilled. But there is something that doesn't sit right with me here, that you left in a month's time, taking the car, the stereo, as well as the alarm. The alarm should have gone off in your head. The judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000.
Can I say one more thing?
Yes.
Is there a way that you can make him bring the other car up from Riverside? Because he wants me to go down and get it.
Madam, let me explain something to you. You've just told me this man drinks.
Mm-hmm.
He is selfish.
True.
He's self-centered.
Mm-hmm.
He gave you an ultimatum with regard to your child, right?
True.
He perhaps has not been totally faithful to your relationship.
Big time.
Big time?
Big time.
You just won a judgment for $5,000. What do you want a 20-year-old Pontiac for? Right?
True.
Perfect. $5,000 for the plaintiff.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
On the next Judge Judy.
Parties on Eric versus Ferrin. Step forward, please.
32-year-old sports anchor David Lee Ehrlich is suing 32-year-old teacher Rhonda D. Furin for an engagement ring he says he gave her because they were supposed to be married. She says he's the one who called off the wedding.
Order. All rise. Quiet in the courtroom, please. Yeah, it's number 78 on the calendar in the matter of Ehrlich versus Ferrin. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat, please.
Mr. Ehrlich, you want your engagement ring back?
Correct.
She says that you owe her a small fortune, so she's countersuing for $5,000, which would make this case a wash.
That's what I understand.
So why don't you tell me about this ill-fated romance, sir?
You bet. Your Honor, Rhonda Furin is a woman that I was madly in love with, okay? We both are from Minnesota. She took a teaching job in California for a year. We dated for 2 years. This last February in Las Vegas, I proposed to Rhonda, and I gave her an engagement ring. Okay, she accepted that engagement ring.
Tell me about the engagement ring.
You bet. The engagement ring, which I have here that I bought, was $1.5 carat, okay, engagement ring. And basically, the value of it is $8,000, but I have the receipt right here. Interesting you asked about an engagement ring. The first engagement ring I gave her was 1 carat, okay? That wasn't big enough. When Rhonda came back to Minnesota, we exchanged that ring, we got a bigger one. After that second ring, we got her a third ring because that one wasn't clear enough. I got a bigger and a clearer ring for her, which was at Bediner Jewelry right there. Okay?
That should have told you something
should have
right
told me
then
something
and there,
right
sir.
there. Absolutely. Yes, it should have, Your Honor.
Go.
Basically what happened is that when we got engaged from that night on February 7th of '97, I found out recently that Rhonda had never any intention of not only marrying me, she was not in love with me. She was basically, which I have a very crucial witness here, her roommate, basically who she lived with, that this was one big con game. Rhonda was taking me for everything I had, money, wardrobes, rent money, grocery money, everything. She was not in love with me. And the most important thing out of this whole thing is that Rhonda, you know, it is so actually embarrassing and hurtful to say this. Rhonda had already been in a serious relationship, a guy that was spending 2-3 nights a week over at her apartment with her roommate that she was sleeping with, that she was with, and basically, okay, this person that she was with was already 2 months old into her relationship when she accepted my ring on the stage of Caesar's Palace, okay, on February 7th. Now, the only thing I need to really say here is how many engaged couples, how many people ask someone to get married and that person, Rhonda, goes back to California that night with the engagement ring, we're all happy, I never heard from her. I didn't hear from her that next day. I didn't hear from her a week later. I finally called her roommate at 11 o'clock, midnight, all around the clock saying, have you seen Rhonda, my fiance? Do you know where she is, Terry? Terry was covering for Rhonda because Rhonda was with another guy. This all came out. I was made a fool of. Rhonda finally got a hold of me, Your Honor, and she said, hey, I still love you. I still want to be with you. She came to Minnesota, and what's my proof? We had an engagement dinner. My sister put on an engagement dinner. My whole family there. The ring went around the table to my cousins and aunts. She played my whole family for this act, this scam, that she was going to move back at the end of June, this month, right now. She was going to move back, and she was going to plan a May of '98 wedding in front of everybody. When she got this third ring that you have, that when she came back to Minnesota at the end of April, she took the ring, and this is very important. The jeweler says to her, ma'am, you can pick up the ring in the morning. I will have it mounted and set for you. No, Mr. Bediner, that won't do any good. I need the ring right now. Ma'am, I'd have to stay here and pay my guy until 7:30 night. They did it for her. I said, Rhonda, can I ask you, why do you have to be home? It's Saturday night. You have a week left of vacation before you go back to teaching. Why tonight? I have to get back tonight. No, I'm going to school Monday. I found out, Your Honor, that she got that ring. She took it that night. They stayed late for her. She went back to California. She moved out of her apartment from her ex-roommate, okay? I never heard from her again. I never had a phone number. I never had a forwarding address, nothing. I never heard from Rhonda again. It was at that point, just recently, 3 weeks ago, her roommate said, David, excuse me, you ready? This is gonna hurt you, but I think it's time you stop calling me because I'm in the middle of this and I don't wanna be in the middle of it. She has been on the phone with you for the last 3 months. She's made up all these stories that you owe her money and that you're this and you're that, the whole thing. David, she is with another guy. This guy, I know his name, he's in the room today. She is living with him, okay? She does not love you. She wanted to get the money. You bought her all these clothes, David. You're an idiot. Her roommate was saying, you've gotten all these clothes for her and the money and the cash and everything that you've given her. I said, Terry, I was in love with her.
Where's Terry?
Right here.
Step up here. You were Miss Fern's roommate?
Yes, I was.
How long were you her roommate?
6 months.
You've just heard him tell this very sad story. Is it accurate?
Yes. She told me from the get-go that she did not love David. She had no intentions of ever moving back to Minnesota or marrying him. She told me that he owed her all this money and she needed to keep the relationship going to get the money back from him that he had owed her.
What money did she say he owed her?
She told me that he owed on a couple credit cards that she had done cash advances on for him and other money while they were living together in Minnesota.
How much money did she say?
It was thousands from what she said.
Did she tell you she had no intention of marrying him?
Yes, on
What
more
did
than
she
one
say?
occasion. She said she didn't love him. She was doing this just to get her money back, and she was never moving back to Minnesota. She was staying here.
May I ask one thing, Your Honor? When I found this out from Terry on the phone, I was kind of playing the judge for a second. I said, Terry, let me ask you something. Why would you tell me this? Why she is the, you're the witness, you're the roommate of Rhonda. Why would you go to bat for me? Why would you come into court for me? And not that this is what we'll spend our time with today, because she's done the exact same thing to her roommate. She has stuck her roommate with bills, she has lied to her roommate, and she's lied about everything that, in front of me and my family. I mean, okay, go ahead. I mean, it's one lie. It's one lie after another.
Sit down, please. Could you step up, please?
My name is Jan Ehrlich. I'm David's sister. We welcomed Rhonda into our home as a guest for a week. They had gone on a trip to Cancun. They came back. We put on an engagement dinner. We announced to everybody, my aunt and my cousins, that they were getting married, passed around the ring. They happened to have been there the next night. They saw the next ring. And from the moment that David asked for the ring back, and this is something that she's done before, any information that she had gathered about our family for the week that she was a guest in our home, she tries to turn it around and use it against us. She threatened to call a family member's girlfriend and say that this family member, she saw them flirting with another woman.
I'm not interested in that.
And
now, Rhonda, you must have a side to this story, madam.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
When you lie to a judge once, they don't believe whatever you say. So I don't have to listen to whatever you say. You're a liar.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Sports anchor David Ehrlich says he proposed to Rhonda D. Furin in front of a Las Vegas show audience. And she kept the ring, but not the wedding date.
First, let me see the ring.
It's sold.
Do you have a receipt?
Just a sec.
Sorry.
Just a second. Hey. She was very quiet.
You're absolutely right.
She was very quiet. Why did you sell the ring?
David owes me in excess of $10,000 on the remaining amount that he had borrowed, $40,000. And he had told me that I could keep the ring to pay off past debt.
I want to see the receipt of the sold ring.
I have his phone number and I have a appraisal of the ring. He is saying the ring is worth
Now listen to me.
$8,000.
Don't try to dance around me. I said I want to see a receipt where you sold the ring. Not its appraisal. Not its appraisal, madam. Not anything else. I want to see from the jeweler or the person to whom you sold the ring, the receipt that you sold the ring and for how much. Do you have it?
I don't have a receipt. I just have his name and number. And
you do? Mm-hmm. Give it to me.
And an appraisal.
Give it to me. Now, what is this? For relative? What does that mean?
Bassem bought it for a relative of his in the Middle East.
Who's Bassem?
A neighbor of mine.
Neighbor of yours from where?
Where I reside.
And where is that?
Chino Hills.
Watch them. Mr. Basson, this is Judge Judy Scheindlin. Do you know who I am? Yes. That's correct, sir. Now you know who I am? I have some questions to ask you, sir. Did you purchase a ring recently? A diamond ring. No, is not an answer, sir. That requires a yes or a no. Did you purchase a diamond ring from Miss Furman? Mr. Basson? I know you're there, sir. The answer is yes or no, Mr. Basson. Please don't keep me on the phone. Did you buy a diamond ring from her, sir? Thank you very much, sir.
That's a good one. Order.
You, madam, are a liar. Because I just spoke to this gentleman. He said he was going to buy the ring, but he gave it back.
I don't have it.
You know what happens when you lie to a court once? Madam.
Yes.
When you lie to a judge once, they don't believe whatever you say. So I don't have to listen to whatever you say. You're a liar.
Judge Judy is ready to rule. And later today,
He's lying, and I don't know. This isn't the person.
To extort money after 6 years.
This isn't the person I knew 6 years ago, so I don't know who this is, but this person is lying.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Rhonda Furin says she loaned David Ehrlich thousands. That's why she kept the ring.
Listen to me. Mr. Ehrlich.
Yes.
It is clear to me that you were taken for a ride, sir. This lady wouldn't know the truth if it came up and slapped her in the face.
Thank God.
You are entitled to everything that you are demanding in this complaint. You are countersuing him for $5,000. I'm not interested in a word you had to say, because you lied to me. So I'm dismissing your counterclaim, and I'm awarding plaintiff the $5,000, which is the maximum I can award him in this court. Thank you very much, Mr. Ehrlich. Be smart next time. Mr. Ehrlich, don't say anything. You just won. Listen to me. Be smart next time.
Thank you
If
very
you give a girl a ring, an engagement ring, and she asks for a bigger one, it's not somebody that I would want to live the rest of my life with.
Thank you very much,
That's all.
Thank you. Amen.
Step out.
Thank you.
I have a tape of him in my bed with another woman in which he blackmailed the lady for $50,000. I have his criminal record.
Let's see the tape.
I have promissory notes where he owes me $40,000.
Is that my ready? No.
I have personal ads where he placed personal ads to get women to give him money.
Party's on Gilmore versus Stein. Step forward, please.
Kathy Gilmore is suing her former boyfriend, Jay Stein Jr., for his half of a Mexican vacation they took 6 years ago to restore their romance.
Miss Gilmore, you say he owes you for a 1991 trip that you took to Mexico, right?
Yes.
Could you mind telling me what took you so long?
Well, we were involved in a relationship for another 2 years after we took the trip, and even after we broke up, we continued to be close friends.
Well, in the 2 years that you were together, what did you do about collecting his half of the debt for the trip?
I would bring it up from time to time, and he would always be apologetic and promise to try to make payment when he got his tax refund or when he got on his feet.
Any of that sound familiar to you?
The part about taking the trip, yes.
So, now where have you been since 1993?
We've been in touch by phone. We live far apart, so we've always been in touch. And The topic has come up on regular occasions, and again, he always felt badly that he hadn't paid and promised to try to pay me when he could. And
why did you pay for this trip in 1991?
He had been away on a cruise ship for 4 months in the South Pacific, and we were celebrating his return. We wanted to take a vacation.
You were working on the cruise?
He was working.
What kind of work did you do on the cruise?
Musician?
And he asked me, we talked about taking a trip together, and he told me to go ahead and book the trip to Cancun. We decided to go to the jazz festival. So I did, and I charged it on my credit card with a full understanding that he was going to pay for his half.
Whose understanding?
Both of ours. And I have a letter here from him that he sent while he was on the ship, asking me to book the vacation, and he didn't care where we went as long as we were together, and had some suggestions of some ideas where we might want to go.
Does that letter say he was going to pay for half?
No, it just says it doesn't matter where we go as long as we're together.
Just says book it. You've heard the phrase statute of limitations.
Mm-hmm.
You know what that means?
Yes.
Tell me your interpretation of what that means.
You only have a certain amount of time that you can recover your money.
Right. And there is a logical reason for that, because I usually don't feel compelled to abide by any particular state legislation, because people who come to this court come from all over the country. And even I could not learn all the laws of every jurisdiction, because they're all different. But there is a common sense reason for a statute of limitations, and that is that people only keep bills and papers and receipts for so many years. And after that, they destroy them. So if you have a lawsuit, you are encouraged by the law to be prompt in filing it, so that not only do you have the proper paperwork, but the defendant against whom you are filing the lawsuit has an opportunity to defend himself or herself. In this case, somebody who would have to show me his visa back 6 years ago, which I assume you don't have.
I have it.
You do?
Yes.
You are a terrific guy. However, most people don't. You are certainly a compulsive guy if you've got your bills dating back 6 years. How long did it take you to find those?
A few minutes.
God, you want to come to my house? But that's the reason. So I would like to take a look at it.
Sure. I understand that. The reason I never filed in court was because we had always been friends. There had always been an acknowledgement up until July of 1996 that he was going to pay me the money. And suddenly, he severed all contact in July of 96. I was shocked that suddenly he was acting as though he didn't owe me the money. And that
Did you ever tell her that you owed her this money?
No, there was never an agreement between us. And there was a
There
time
absolutely was.
of 2 years where we didn't have any contact.
That's not true. I have phone bills. I have them all here.
Are you married now, sir?
No.
You with somebody else? Mm-hmm. For how long?
Almost a year now.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Look, Miss Gilmore, whether you believe that you had a right to rest on this alleged debt for 6.5 years because you were still on speaking terms with him or not, I find that you waited too long to pursue this claim. And you didn't even immediately after your breakup. You weren't even vigilant at that time. I'm not going to go into why you are 7 years later pursuing this matter, which doesn't involve a lot of money. It involves a relatively small amount of money. I don't know why. Is there any particular reason why right now you are pursuing this claim for, what is it, $1,500?
Yeah, $1,600.
Why?
Well, mainly because the entire time that I was waiting and hoping for him to pay me back, I wasn't in a financial position where I really needed the money. A couple of years ago, I moved to New York, and it's a very expensive place to live, and I thought, you know, this is a lot of money that he owes me. I really should have this. This belongs to me. And that's why I pursued it with him a little more diligently, and he promised to try to borrow it from his sister, and I have a witness that listened to that conversation, that heard what he said.
Oh, really?
I do.
When was that conversation?
It was July of 96. I was advised that I should have a witness.
Do you remember that conversation where you then orally acknowledged that you had a debt to her?
No, Your Honor.
No. You say you have
That's
a
not
witness.
true, Your Honor.
Miss Gilmore, you say you have a witness to that?
I do.
I'd like to hear that witness.
My witness is not here. I have a signed
Then I have
statement.
no witness. This case is dismissed. That's all.
Please excuse. You may step out.
And on the next Judge Judy. They were two angry nurses who came to blows over a cockatoo.
I hope that I am never put in a hospital and have to deal with two people like you.
Party's on Farkas versus Bull. Step forward, please.
Actor Peter Farkas claims 31-year-old makeup artist Dwayne Bull changed lanes and smashed into his car on Sunset Boulevard and still hasn't paid for the damage.
Order, all rise.
Your Honor, it's number 90 on the calendar in the matter of Farkas versus Bull. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat, ma'am.
Mr. Farkas, if you tell me the story in as interesting a manner as you wrote it in your papers, it's going to be a fun morning. So, relax and tell me your story.
Well, I was traveling westbound on Sunset Boulevard heading towards Highland. I get to the corner of Highland with a plan to make a right turn. I'm in the far right lane. The light changes. I move forward a foot or a yard. All of a sudden, bam! Mr. Bull over here smashes me from the middle lane of Sunset because he's decided to make a right turn onto Highland. So we pull into a strip center right nearby, and you know, I'm reaching for my documents. I'm just trying to compose myself, and he saunters over to my window, and you know, in his way, oh, I'm so sorry I did this. This is terrible. I had my mind on other things, and I'm getting a divorce. I'm saying, please, I don't want to know. Just let's go with the license and registration. So I look at his license.
Getting a divorce? I just got married, so I can't be getting a divorce.
I'm going to get to you in a second.
I read his license. Dwayne Xavier Bull, license expires in '95. Do you have insurance? No, this I don't have. I look at his license plates, New Mexico license plates. So what are we going to do? He says, I just want to pay for it. Why don't you just take it over to a... So I asked him, what beseeched you? What possessed you to make this turn?
Your Honor,
he says, I saw my boyfriend on Highland Avenue with another man, and I got so upset. I said, I'm not interested. What are you going to do? He says, I'm going to pay. He says, I'm going to pay for it. I tell him I'm going to go right now to get an estimate, and I'm going to bring it to you, and you'll pay for it, and we'll forget the whole thing. Now, the man, can I show this to the judge, please?
Yes.
The day, exactly at the incident, I wouldn't leave the scene without him signing this. It clearly says, Dwayne Xavier Bull agrees to pay me. He caused the accident. Fine, so he does it. So what happens next? I call him and call him and call him. No answer. He gives me his pager. His salon is on Sunset. Following morning, I walk into his place of business. I walk in, and this young lady takes over. Divorce, marriage, the French woman, I don't know, but she starts, excuse me, I will handle this. Dwayne has no money. Well, that's good. That's good. What are we going to do? But we want to fix your car, so we want you to take your car to Vahe.
To who?
Vahe.
Vahe.
So Vahe, the Armenian auto body repair. It's right. There's more documents to establish it. I pick up the telephone. I say, I'm not leaving here till I speak to Vahe, so it's perfectly clear that Vahe fixes my car, he pays for it, and I go home. I call up Vahe, and I say, Vahe, do we understand each other? Dwayne Xavier Bull, I'm going to bring my car to Jenemsveld in the valley somewhere, and you should only know where, I don't know where it is. You have to take a cow to get there. So, Vahe, do we understand each other? You're going to fix the car, and Dwayne Xavier Bull is going to pay for it. He says, no problem. We know Dwayne. You bring your car. You be very happy. Following morning, my wife and kid in tow with the Camry behind us. We're trucking out to no man's land. Oh, excuse me. Here's the document that says that he agrees to pay Varaz Auto Repair when I bring the car to him. Okay. Dwayne, can you give me a chance?
Mr. Bull, I'm going to let you tell the defendant's side of the story as soon as he's finished, okay? Go ahead.
So I get to Varaz. Vahe's a very nice guy. He says, leave the car, no problem. On my way home, I'm telling my wife, there's no shot in the world that this problem is over. Sure enough, like clockwork, Vahe's boss calls me. Bob, the Armenian. Bob, we have a problem. Of course we have a problem. Dwayne Bull didn't come to pay for the car, right. He says, we agreed that he would just pay for the parts, and we'll give him time on the labor. The man doesn't come. So I start calling him, Vahe is calling him, Bob is calling him, the man doesn't return calls. Finally, he threatens threatens me on the telephone. I called West Hollywood Police. He says to me, if you call me and harass me anymore, I'll have people beat you up. I call West Hollywood Police, but they're busy with seatbelts. They can't handle this.
How long are you in California, sir?
Not long.
How long were you in California at the time of this accident?
Unfortunately, only about 60 or 90 days, and although it's not relevant to the case, 45 days before this incident, I move into a house on April 4th, and the following day I wake up in the morning and the house is on fire. I'm carrying my baby out in the fire at 2 o'clock in the morning. And if I make, oh yes, we heard it enough. Well, here's an official document from the fire department establishing that happened. I know it's not relevant. I'm sorry.
It has nothing to do with the case.
Okay, so did you get your car?
I actually paid for it yesterday for a full month. I mean, this man wreaked havoc on my life.
How much was the...
$1,800.
It was 19 at first.
Excuse me.
You want to pay 19?
He changes
Excuse
his figures.
me. The day I came to him in his salon, I showed him the first estimate that I told him I would get was for 18 and change. Varaz, his own people, estimated at 1,800. And that's what I paid for it. And
$1,800.
$1,800. So this is his own. This is his own people. This is Vahez estimate.
Okay, Mr. Bull, you've been anxious to tell me your side of the story. Now I'm prepared to hear you, sir.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Repair Mr. Farkas' car. He agreed to pay for the repair. He never came by to pay for it.
Paper.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Dwayne Bull, a Hollywood hair and makeup specialist, says his collision with actor Peter Farkas on Sunset Boulevard was Farkas's fault, and he shouldn't have to pay for the damage.
Now I'm prepared to hear you, sir.
Okay, Your Honor, the way I see it is, yes, he is correct. I was traveling west on Sunset Boulevard.
Stop playing with the papers. Talk to me.
Okay, I was just looking for a little document I wanted to show you as an exhibit. Okay, here it is. I was traveling west. Could you pass this to her, please? I was traveling west on Sunset Boulevard. Now, he was in the far right-hand turning lane, and it was 5 o'clock traffic. I truly believe that he was in that lane because on Sunset Boulevard, people get in that lane to speed to go fast. Your Honor, the way I was hit on the way my car personally was hit, if you look at the estimate, it was hit on my right side front door. Okay, so what I did was I put a signal to turn right. I think he was in this lane to go forward because he was not in eyesight, nor did he have a signal.
So you weren't you weren't in the far right lane, correct?
No, I wasn't. I signaled to go.
You were not in the far right lane. You were in the center lane.
Yes. No, the lane next to the far right lane.
But he was in the far right lane.
Yes, right. Exactly.
So you went to make a right turn.
No, I signaled to
You
make a
went
right
to
turn.
make a right turn.
Yes.
And you were not in the far right lane.
No.
Right. You got out of the car. You went over to this gentleman. You signed a piece of paper indicating that you were prepared to pay for the damage, right?
Yes. I had not even had the car a day, okay? And yes, I was nervous because I did not have insurance. And yes, I was nervous.
You didn't have
because
insurance.
I didn't have insurance, and I didn't have a driver's license.
That's right.
Okay, so yes, I really was nervous.
So you didn't want, listen to me.
So I didn't want trouble with the police department.
That's
But
right.
not only that, he got personal with me. He asked me, was I gay, okay? And I responded, no, he was coming on to me at the time. And I played with the party too. Yes, I'm married, but of course I'm gonna play into it because I didn't want the police. And I felt if he thought I was gay, then maybe he liked me. It's obvious, he's Nelly.
Okay, Mr. Bull. Now he
this
comes.
is proof.
I want you to stop talking. Listen to me. I'm going to ask questions. You're going to answer them. He came to your salon. Now he got to Viha, the Armenian, through you. Is that correct?
Yes. I'm being totally honest. I was nervous. That's the only reason I signed this paper. I did not want to go to jail. Okay. My wife told me, listen, this guy is at fault. He's in our business, and he's screaming, irate, loud. He's from New York. He's obnoxious. It's obvious he's obnoxious. Look at him. Okay? He calls on my phone repeatedly. He tells me about his house caught on fire, how his kids are hungry. He needs his van to transport his kids. All this irrelevant stuff. While I have very important clients that are there. In fact, my wife is here as proof that I had a client that sit there in the chair when I disputed with him for 20 minutes in my business, screaming because he has no patience and he acts immature. He screamed, 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 and I lost the client. She requested her $150 deposit back for you know, the services that were being rendered, her hair extension. I am a popular hairstylist, and only thing I ever stated to this man is that when you want to speak to me, you do not call me at home and you make an appointment like everybody else.
Is that what is? Just
Yes.
a minute. Have we now completed your side of the story?
No, I have one more thing to say.
I'm ready to hear you, sir.
Your Honor, again, yes, I admit that my driver's license had expired. But again, from the way my car was hit, he said I hit him. It's obvious he hit me. From the way
That's really not urgently important, sir. I'm going to tell you why. Mr. Farkas had the right at that time, because there was an accident, to pick up the phone and call the police to have them come to the accident.
But why didn't he?
Why? Because sir,
I had...
No, because you had problems with your license, too. I'm almost certain you did. You had some kind of problem.
You looked at my license and said, you know, you're a typical Gemini. That was his comment.
Mr. Bull, you, sir, had no insurance and did not want the police to come because you were also driving with a suspended license. He gave up the right to call the police, to have the police come and make a determination based upon, don't interrupt me, based upon what they saw, whose fault this accident was. You said to him at the time,
He never mentioned police.
I will take care of the damage, and you signed a piece of paper indicating you would take care of the damage.
I signed that paper again because I was nervous.
Well, I don't care whether
Anybody
you're nervous or not.
signs paper, I mean, under pressure.
Listen,
I mean,
I
was
want you to
nervous.
I want you to get not nervous,
My
Mr.
personal
Bull.
lifestyle had nothing to do with this case whatsoever. And for him to mention those things about my personal, I think that it was very irrelevant. And it's obvious that, again, from the way the position my car was hit, that it was his fault. But of course, he's not going to admit it.
Your Honor, I was doing...
And you did real good.
I was doing the man a favor.
Doing me a favor.
He's telling me about his wife
doing me a
problem.
favor.
He's telling me about the two-timing boyfriend. I mean, the man's got, you know, his sexual confidence. He's a menace on the road.
Mr. Farkas, Mr. Farkas.
I'm sorry. What the hell's so funny?
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
He has no idea what my feelings are if I like to ride bicycles. He doesn't know that about
I
me.
dated him for 6 months. We've been friends for 9 months since then.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
Mr. Farkas, you paid the $1,800 to have your
I
car
did.
fixed? Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,800. The defendant's counterclaim for harassment and all sorts of other things is dismissed.
Thank you, Judge.
Goodbye.
Is our excuse, you may step out.
But you were very smart about getting those papers, because that's the only reason why you won this case. But other than that, she would have looked at it for my way. And another, I just think it's because you're blonde and blue-eyed.
I am absolutely convinced that Mr. Bull had his name shortened.
And now the next case.
All parties on Ryder versus Pullman. Step forward.
30-year-old marketing director Kirk Ryder says he loaned his bicycle to his ex-boyfriend Klaus Pullman, and it was stolen. So now Klaus should pay.
All right. Mr. Ryder, you say that you lent a bicycle to the defendant, and he had it in his possession for a long time, and then through his negligence, the bicycle was stolen. You want your money for the bicycle.
Well, I wanted a new bicycle, basically.
Did you lend him a new bicycle?
Pardon me? No, I
What
wanted
didn't you understand, sir?
I wanted my bicycle back.
Well, he couldn't give you your bicycle back.
Right. So we entered
So my
into...
question to you is, did you lend him a new bicycle?
No, I did not.
How old was the bicycle that you lent to him?
The bicycle was 3 years old.
And had you purchased it?
No.
How did you get it?
It was, I inherited it from my best friend who died.
And what kind of bicycle was this?
It was a Univega Via Modego, 15-speed, hybrid bicycle.
What happened to a Schwinn?
I don't know, Judge. Schwinns are more expensive now.
Are they?
Yeah.
I'm glad to see if they're still in business. At least it doesn't date me.
They are.
All right. So you had the bicycle for how long before you lent it to him?
I had the bicycles since July 1996, when my friend died. And Klaus borrowed it in or around November, I guess. I'm not even sure.
Well, then I gather you weren't using it much.
Well, I was traveling. I travel for a living, so
So
I don't know which trip he borrowed it before. He borrowed it because his car broke down in the desert and he was using his bicycle to get around. Then the bicycle he was using that he owned broke, and I offered to lend him mine.
So far, does that sound right?
Yes, except for when he loaned it to me.
When did he loan it to you?
In June, in the summer.
Of 96?
Of 96.
What happened to his bike?
It was stolen.
Mr. Pullman, you understand that the bike is in your possession, then you have a responsibility to either replace it or to give him some compensation for it.
He neglected the bicycle. He didn't want the bicycle. It didn't work. It sat in his dining room for 2 years while he was traveling.
Objection.
It didn't work.
Your Honor. What? Sorry. Well, he has no, that's speculation. He has no idea whether I wanted the bicycle or not. I, out of the goodness of my heart, lent him a bicycle that had some emotional value to me as well as physical value of getting around.
So it doesn't seem to me, I mean, have you been friends for long? It's just too bad that this bicycle is presenting a problem to you. Why don't you just replace the bicycle?
Because he didn't want the bicycle. He left it. I took care of it. I didn't neglect it. I locked it with my bike, with my roommate's bicycle. It was in my garage. All 3 were stolen. He didn't want it. He liked it in my garage and not in his dining room. That's why I had it for so long. He didn't want to come get it. He wouldn't let me return it. He travels a lot, so it was his schedule that was in question. I work at home. I'm always there. He neglected the bike. He gave it to me. He didn't give it to me. He loaned it to me. Asked
right.
me to keep it for him.
He loaned you the bike.
I took care of it.
Good.
I housed it.
Good.
It was stolen. It's out of my control.
Right.
He neglected the bike a year ago. He loaned it to me a year ago this month.
Your Honor.
Yes, well.
He moved 2 blocks away from my house when he
Doesn't make
moved
any
to West
difference,
Hollywood.
Mr. Pullman.
He could have returned it.
Mr.
And
Pullman.
also, wait, one more thing. I believe that he did neglect the bike because I lent him the bike with a kryptonite lock, and he did not use that lock. He used a chain which could be cut easily.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Want justice? Call 1-888-800-JUDY. Kirk Ryder says his ex-boyfriend Klaus Pullman should pay for the bicycle he borrowed because it was stolen while in his possession.
The only thing that I have to decide is on a value of this bicycle because you did not purchase it. To replace it is a problem because to replace it, what you're seeking is the full replacement value of the bike, which is, you say, $399 to replace a bike of similar quality. Is that what you indicated?
Which is actually less than the bike that was stolen is valued at.
Well, bicycles, listen to me, sir. Bicycles are not like diamonds. They don't appreciate in value.
Oh, I know that.
They depreciate in value. So if it had been bought for $500, it depreciates probably 50% in the first year that somebody has it. So then you're down to $250. That's after 1 year. So you're not going to get anywhere near what this bicycle would cost new. But you have to pay something to him, sir. You accepted it into your care. That's what we call almost a bailment. Even if he was storing it at your house and you agreed to accept it for storage, right, you have a certain responsibility towards it. You said something about this lock.
It's a standard bicycle kryptonite lock. He loaned it to me with the bicycle, but he didn't loan me the key.
So what'd you do with his lock?
The lock is with the bicycle. It stayed with the bicycle. It has a holder for it.
Okay.
Which I couldn't get off without a key.
A tire pump and also a water bottle and cage. All accessories to the bike, which added to the value.
Mr. Ryder, stop getting so excited. It's a bicycle. It's a bicycle that you didn't ride and you didn't miss for a year.
I did ride, Your Honor.
You're irritating me. Listen to me. From the time you lent it to him until March of this year, according to your own statement, you really did not make a request for this bike.
I made 1 request.
Wait, so evidently
no, I made 2. I made 2.
Evidently it wasn't something that was right at the forefront, the signpost on your face. You know, it was just a piece.
Well, I didn't ride it because it wasn't in my possession. I had loaned it to a friend. That's why I was not riding the bicycle.
And your friend is going to give you $150 that you can use towards purchasing a new bike. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $150. That's all.
Excuse you, may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
On Duran versus Blick, step forward.
35-year-old Mark Durand says he loaned thousands to his former girlfriend, payroll supervisor Melissa Blick, 32, while she was married to another man. Melissa says the money was a gift.
Order. All rise.
Yeah, this is case number 470 on the calendar in the matter of Duran versus Blick. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Mr. Durand, according to your complaint, you became involved with the defendant while she was married and made a series of loans to her. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Several $1,000s, $3,000.
Almost 3,000, yes.
She says that you didn't make any loans. Whatever you gave her were gifts.
Gifts.
How did you meet each other?
Through a friend of mine's wedding. We both were involved in a wedding, and the lady that my buddy was marrying set us up to where we both walked down the aisle together.
And how long did this relationship last that you
About
developed?
About 2.5 years.
It's a long time. You were living with your husband at the time?
Yes, and it was 2 years, ma'am.
Now tell me about these loans that you made to her during that time.
She'd asked for money. She said she wanted to get a job, and she needed money to get clothes and different things, and I gave her the money. At different times, she'd call and say, I need this much. I wrote a check for this amount, and I can't cover it. We put it in the bank on several different occasions. On the receipts, I have all the bank receipts.
Well, just because you gave her money, Mr. Durant, doesn't mean that they were loans. What makes you think that they were loans, sir?
Well, the money I put in her account, I told her that had to be paid back. I gave her money also out of my pocket on different occasions.
I understand the dynamics of this situation from the papers that I have, which is you decided to stay with your husband and you called this relationship off.
Yes, ma'am.
And it was after that that you pursued these alleged loans.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Durant, were they loans?
Yes, at that time, yes, they were.
Which ones were loans, sir?
The ones I have the receipts from my bank account to her bank account on, yes, are loans.
And how much is that?
$2,920. The money that came straight out of my pocket, which is about $1,000, I had just given her 100 here, 100 there. I told her, don't worry about paying back.
Now, Mrs. Blick, $2,920 is what he said he has in bank receipts. Do you remember getting that kind of money from him?
Yes and no, ma'am.
Well, yes.
Okay, yes. But let me elaborate on that. I would pick up things, say groceries or whatever the case may be. I don't recall exactly everything I picked up, and he would say, if he didn't have the cash on hand, he would deposit it into my account.
That's a lot of groceries for $3,000.
No, it wasn't just groceries. It was several different things.
Like what?
Clothing.
For whom?
For himself.
Let me see the bank receipts, please. During this 2-year period, you were living with your husband or you were living with him?
No, I lived with my husband.
So what did groceries have to do with him?
No, if I was somewhere, he would ask me to pick up things for him. I would pick up things for him. If I was at the mall, he would ask me to pick up things. I would pick up things. He borrowed money from me and also deposited money into my account that he owed me.
Did you ever owe her any money?
No, ma'am.
For deposit to the account of Rob Blick.
That's her husband. I wrote
It's
it.
a joint account.
There's 2 receipts there on the same day. I think one's for 50 and one's for 110. One to her account and one to her husband's account, to where I wrote a check. I can't cover it.
Just a second. That's sort of interesting. Didn't your husband ask where this money was coming from if this was a joint account?
Ma'am, it's a joint account, okay, yes. But if he owed me the money, I would give him the money. This account basically
You're not answering my question, Mrs. Blick.
No, he didn't ask because this account basically I take care of. He doesn't.
I'm looking at deposits to your account, $600.
Okay.
$320. Where's odd numbers? $110.
Because this would be money also that he owed me, that he had borrowed from me.
Well, explain that to me, Mrs. Blick. Explain to me how he borrowed money from you.
He would say that he didn't have any money. Could he please borrow some money? And I said yes, and I let him borrow money.
Does that sound familiar, sir?
No, ma'am. I don't see how I could borrow money from her if she wasn't working at the time, trying to get on her feet. How can I borrow money from her?
If you would look at those statements, ma'am, I did work.
I didn't ask you whether you worked or not. It just doesn't, something doesn't smell right when you say that you lent him money.
Well, I did.
How much?
I don't know the total amount that I loaned him, but I never, ever asked him to borrow money. He didn't give me money that I asked to borrow, ever.
$2,900.
Yes.
He deposited into your account. And you're telling me that none of this was a loan?
No, ma'am, it was not.
Well, tell me about it. You tell me about it. And we're not talking groceries here. We're not talking about a box of cornflakes.
Well, I mean,
we're talking about, over a period of 2 years, almost $3,000, and that's not including what he says is cash out of pocket.
Okay, I will tell you about it. He would give me money. If I was going out, he would say, here, take some money, have some fun with your friends. He would ask me to borrow money because he does not work in the winter. He's off, you know, several months. I'm not sure exactly how many months, and he did not work. There was times where he did not collect his unemployment for a certain amount of time. I don't know the balance there, how long it takes him to get his unemployment. He would ask for money from me also then. I would give him money because he had no money, no income whatsoever.
All these, Mr. Duran, receipts are for 1996. So that's during a one-year period.
Yes, ma'am.
You say you had this affair over a 2-year period.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, when did you start giving him money?
Starting into the second year. The first year, I mean, we were just seeing each other, and then she said she wasn't happy with her husband. She loved him more as a brother than a husband. She wanted out. She wasn't happy, but she was staying because of her son, her one son.
Mm-hmm. Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
I'm not insecure, you know, with our marriage. Obviously she was, but we're working through that.
And later today,
7 years? I'm his best friend? Like, I don't know him
You
enough?
were my best friend.
Well, Megan, you know what? If you wouldn't have slept around on him, maybe I still would be. Oh, yeah, right. Oh.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Mark Duran wants his former girlfriend, Melissa Blick, to pay back the money he loaned her when she was married to another man. Melissa says the money Mark gave her was a gift.
You know, it was the wrong thing for her to get involved in this situation. It was also the wrong thing for you to get involved in this situation, sir. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
According to your papers, you have a tape that memorializes her statement that these were
Yes, ma'am, I do.
loans.
Yes.
When did you make that tape?
The last time I talked to her on the phone, which was, I think 4 months ago.
You want to tell me what it says on that tape?
I asked her when she's going to pay me. She says whenever. I told her to put it in my account. She said, to start with, she said no. At the end of the conversation, she agreed to put the money in my account. I gave her my account number, which is on the tape also. And she told me quit harassing her, which harassing her once every 3 months to call her, find out where my money is, I don't consider harassing. I told her if the money's not in my account, when I check my bank statements, that I want an answer why it's not there. And I won't call and harass her. And she agreed to that.
What did she say?
She said that she would start putting the money in my account. I told her I wanted $100, $50 to $100 a week. And she said, I can't promise you nothing because I have my truck payment or car payment out of one of her checks. And I said, well, if the money's not there, I want you to call me and let me know why it's not there so I don't have to call you and leave a message on your answer machine.
Does that sound familiar to you, Miss Blick?
The conversation we had somewhat like that, yes. He did call my house.
Where you said that you would put money in his account.
Yes, but I didn't owe him the money. I was just trying to get this man to leave me alone. He has harassed me. He has harassed my son. He has threatened to do things to me. He has told me I've had to watch my back. It was so bad.
Are you telling me that if I were to play this tape, it would say that you would start to put the money that you owed him into his account every week?
Yes.
That's it. I don't have to listen to the tape. Listen, Mr. Duran, she acknowledged that this was a loan. She acknowledged it on this tape. I don't have to listen to the tape because she's already told me that she told you that she would put the money in your account. I don't believe you, madam, when you say you told him that because he was harassing you. He wants his money. The two of you were involved in an affair that probably shouldn't have taken place. However, he gave you money. Some were gifts. $50 out of his pocket, go have a good time is not a loan. That's a gift. But clearly, you had an understanding that some of it was supposed to be returned. Perhaps if you had, in fact, left your husband and gone to live with him and had a life together, he would have forgiven those loans. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Exactly what was said.
Well, Mr. Durand, you know the old song, Never Get Involved with a Married Man?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? It goes the other way around, too, sir. All right. I'm satisfied that at least the monies that were placed in the defendant's bank account were placed there as a loan, and I am awarding you $2,920. That's all.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
The woman never needed money. If she needed money, she'd come to me. I never asked questions of what she did with the money. As far as what happened between them two, I don't really know. I'm not insecure, you know, with our marriage.
Countersuing her for physical and mental abuse.
You folks were married for a short time and divorced.
Yes.
Yes.
And you are suing your former husband because you allege that he left you with a large debt.
Yes.
And you feel as if he should be responsible for half of the debt.
That's right.
You have a countersuit, sir.
Yes.
Some of that's nonsense. But basically, you are saying that, A, most of the stuff that's on the credit card bills and the other bills that she's complaining about were in her possession.
Mm-hmm.
B, you paid for a lot of the things, most of the things when you were married.
Yes.
And C, you want to be compensated for all the mental anguish that you went through because of her.
Yes.
Mental anguish is a subjective thing, sir. You're no longer subject to mental anguish because now you're divorced. Got it?
Got it.
Good. All right, so, Ms. Blass, let's talk about these things that you say your former husband is responsible for, at least in part. Let's start with the biggie on your list. Something about American General. Now,
Yes.
what's that for?
Well, we refinanced the car that we had because the finance company that we were with charged too much interest, so we went to something that was cheaper. And we also took an amount that I had already borrowed from them and an amount he had already borrowed and just all collaborated it into one payment.
For the car?
Yes.
What kind of car was this?
A Honda Civic CRX.
What year?
87.
What happened to the car?
It's since been repossessed and sold.
At the time that you separated, which was in what year?
97.
Where was the car?
It was in my possession.
So you kept the car?
Yes, I did.
And it was repossessed because you stopped making payments?
We both stopped making payments, yes.
Well, did you expect him to make payments on a car that you were driving?
No, I didn't.
So the car was repossessed because you stopped making payments?
Right.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
She had an affair on him. That's
Sit
why-
down. Talking money, they're talking sex.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Megan Blas wants her ex-husband, Philip Blas, to pay for a repossessed car and some credit card bills. He wants her to pay for physical and mental abuse.
What was your arrangement with her with the car, sir?
The agreement on the car was if she were to take back the car, she would make the payments and she'd make the insurance on it. And
Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So then why are you suing him?
He co-signed on the loan, and so he is equally responsible, as from what I understand.
Hold it. Let me understand this. You separated. You said to him, I want the car.
Right.
And if you give me the car, I'll assume the payments.
I never said I really would. I mean...
You just told me you said you would. You just told me you said you would.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
So he turned the car over to you.
Right. But then since the loan is in both of our names...
I understand that. So you take care of it. You told him, give me the car and I'll take over the payments. Right?
Yes.
And you didn't.
Right.
So, take care of it. You made an arrangement with him. Give me the car and I will be responsible for it, is what you're saying. Then you weren't responsible for it. You weren't responsible, period. They repossessed the car. You want him to pay for half of whatever the deficit was.
Right.
Ridiculous. Next. That's the biggie. Let's go to the Sears bill. What did you buy at Sears?
Numerous household items.
Like what?
Television.
Where's the television?
In my house.
What else?
CD player that was in the car.
CD player that was in the car?
Yes.
That was in your possession?
Right.
That got repossessed? What else?
Clothing for the both of us.
Clothing. Well, he seems to say that he bought a few items of clothing, right?
Yes.
What clothing did he put on this Sears card?
Work clothing.
How much was it worth?
I don't have an exact amount.
Well, then I can't give you an exact order. What else was on the Sears card? Anything else?
No.
No. That takes care of the Sears card. Gottschalk's. What kind of a store is that?
It's a department store.
And whose items were on that?
Both of ours.
What?
Clothing, mostly.
Does that sound familiar to you?
Maybe a pair of pants and a work shirt. That was about it. And I wasn't even allowed to charge on the Gottschalk's bill, so I had no access to it at all.
Whose name was that card in?
Mine, but he also had a card.
Did you have a card?
No, ma'am.
You have a bill from Gottschalk's?
I do not have a bill because I was not able to get those.
You get a bill every month.
I do, but they don't break it down.
We're talking about $338 Gottschalk's bill, right?
Yes.
Half of that is $169.
Correct.
But you can't establish to me what part of that $338 were his clothes. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. Let's get to your countersuit, because that might take care of the whole ball of wax. You say that you borrowed $700 to buy this car. Is that right?
No, that was $700. There was a car payment that had to be made, rent, utilities, and those kind of things.
When was that?
It was over a period of time, a period of about 3 or 4 months.
Is that right before you separated?
Maybe 4 months before we separated.
Oh, please. Mr. Blass, forget about it, sir. Forget about that part of your countersuit.
Okay.
Because you can't substantiate. This is kind of nonsense. Now tell me about this mental anguish and be very, very brief.
There was physical abuse. I ended up having to defend myself a couple of times.
When you say defend yourself, you mean she hit you and you hit her?
She hit me, and I stopped her from hitting me.
Stopped her? What'd you stop her with?
My hands.
Okay. Is that why I assume you separated?
No, there's some other details in there.
I don't want to know the other details.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
You had mental anguish when you were living with your former wife?
Yes.
You're not living with her anymore?
No.
Ma'am, may I say that I had mental anguish also?
Good.
I mean, it could
Everybody
go
has
both
mental
ways.
anguish. Let me tell you something,
No matter what
folks.
relationship.
Let me tell you something. If you didn't have mental anguish, the two of you might still be together.
Correct.
You had mental anguish. You were smart enough to put a period and move on with your lives.
Right.
Why you're still suing each other, I have no idea.
Your Honor, may I say something?
Why?
Who
are you?
I'm his best friend. She had an affair on him. That's
Sit
why-
down. Talking money, they're talking sex. Look, Miss Blass, you didn't like living with him, you filed for divorce, you got a divorce, he defaulted, right?
Correct.
Put a period, move on with your life. Sir,
Yes.
but for the fact that she sued you, you would never be here. Is that correct?
Yes.
Good. So put a period, move on. Lawsuit, countersuit, dismissed. Have a nice day.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the
All parties on Sanders versus Thompson. Step forward.
St. Louis truck driver Lawrence Saunders claims that while he was in jail, his girlfriend, Kim Thompson, found a new boyfriend who damaged his Jeep and lost his handgun.
Order. All rise. Quiet in the courtroom. All rise.
Your Honor, this is number 34 on the calendar in the matter of Saunders versus Thompson. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated.
I gather from these papers you two were engaged, going together for about 10 years. Yes. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And at some point, Mr. Saunders, according to your complaint, you went away for about 2 years.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that a euphemism for jail?
Yes, ma'am.
What were you incarcerated for? Because that becomes important.
Aggravated battery.
On whom? Not on her.
No, ma'am.
Was there a weapon involved?
No, ma'am.
And during the time that you were going to be away, you left the defendant your car,
Yes, ma'am.
a gun,
Yes, ma'am.
and access to your money.
Yes, ma'am.
Where was the money?
Originally, before I left, I resigned from my job. The money was somewhat about $20,000 in a K plan.
And
Before had a retirement plan.
Yes, ma'am. She had the power of attorney so that she could handle the work, get the money, and handle it.
So then you come out of jail and you sue her. Not together anymore.
Yes, something like that.
Well, then let me hear the story, sir.
I came out and to retrieve, before getting out, I realized that we were no longer going to be together. I just wanted to come out and receive my property, get rid of the gun, sell it, get my Jeep, get insurance policy that she had of mine, power of attorney back, and go on with my life. Subsequently, I tried to talk with her and get her to give me these things back so that I could go on with my life. She, in turn, gave me problems. They went on for months and months. I couldn't get any of this stuff back.
Do you have your Jeep?
I eventually did get it, yeah. Now, the Jeep I got immediately, but a couple of weeks down the line, I realized that it had some problems in it. A leaning wheel. She had told me before I got out that the windshield was cracked again for the third time, you know, and I was missing a lock, a computer lock that goes to a burglar alarm. That's, you know.
All right, let me get to this gun, because I think that's going to be the easiest thing to take care of. What happened to his gun?
I had been carrying the gun in the vehicle.
Why?
At the suggestion of Mr. Saunders, because I did travel every weekend back and forth a considerable distance. There was one occasion where...
Travel where?
To Illinois.
For what?
To visit him.
Okay.
There was an occasion where I had a blowout with the tire. Somebody approached the vehicle while I was waiting for the repair service, and at that time he suggested I should keep the gun in the car for emergency situations like that.
Is that true?
No, that's not true at all. Ma'am, I've been with Kim for 10 years, a decade before I went away. Kim has never touched a gun. She was scared of them. If I had one in the wrong spot in her way, she would come get me to move it. I know that she's as awkward with a gun as she would be with an elephant.
Miss Thompson, what happened to the gun? We're going to start over again.
I was going to go visit Mr. Saunders for a family event. I knew that the vehicle would be searched, so I'd taken the gun out of the car and left it in the home of my third party.
What third party?
My witness, Mr. Hogue.
This is your new boyfriend?
Yes.
So you took the gun out of the car and gave it to him?
I did not give it to him. I put it away, and I informed him that I was going to leave the gun in a certain drawer in the house.
Why didn't you leave the gun in your house?
Because when I was on my way to visit him, I was at Mr. Hogue's house at the time, and I remembered, that gun is out there, I need to get it out. So I just came from the Jeep, put it in the house, and I informed him I'm going to leave this here while I go visit.
So on your way to visit him, you stopped at his house?
Right.
Had you told him you had a new relationship?
Yes.
Is that right?
Somewhat. I found out on getting out of jail, I found out when I got into my Jeep and opened up the glove compartment and hotel receipts fell out. That's how I found out.
Step up here, sir. Because I want to deal with the gun first. What happened? Your name?
My name's Gerald Hogue.
Mr. Hogue, what happened to his gun?
There was a disturbance at my house.
What kind of disturbance?
There was a fight between some friends. The police came. They asked were any weapons in the home. I told them yes. They seized the weapons. When I talked to Mr. Sanders about his gun, I told him where his gun was. I told him what he needed to do to get it back.
So the gun was really seized because of a problem that existed in your house with the police?
Yes.
And your gun is, you have the license and registration for your gun?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
You know that you can go to the police station and get your gun back if you can prove it's yours.
But I was told so many lies. Originally, she told me that she had the gun.
Well, she already told me one lie, but now we got to the root of it.
Yes, ma'am. But recently, I just found out that, and this is at his word, that the police and I think Jennings have the gun. I have been told so many lies that at a certain point, I stopped dealing with them. I figured I would take it to the court and let the court sort it out.
Mr. Saunders, really, all you have to do is go to the police station. When the police have confiscated property, and you can identify that property and satisfy them that the property is yours, and I assume your registration for that gun says what kind of a gun it is. What kind of gun is it?
It's a Taurus 9mm.
You don't need that gun for any particular reason, sir.
No,
do you?
ma'am. I don't need the gun, and as a convicted felon, I'm not allowed to have a gun. So therefore, they will not give it back to me.
Ah.
Okay.
Your Honor?
Yes.
May I say something, please?
Yes.
I did call the police to try to get the gun back. I informed them that I had power of attorney for that the gun was not Mr. Hogue's, and that I did have power of attorney plus the receipts for the gun. They told me that since I was not the registered owner, that I could not get the gun. I would have to go to court in order to do so. I had contacted a lawyer. They told me it would be $258 to get the gun. I did not feel that I should put out additional monies when Mr. Saunders still owes me money.
The reason his gun is at the police station, his property, whether it be a gun, whether it be a hat, whether it be a collection of baseball cards, is because of you.
Right.
So he has to be compensated for that. That's his property. He can't get it out because there's an impediment to it. But the reason that the gun is there is because of you. So you can become the registered owner of the gun for the limited purposes of selling it. And then he gets the money.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She told me already 3 lies today, and we've only...
Friend smashed his Jeep and lost his handgun.
What other monies do you say she owes you?
$2,600 for a wheel on my Jeep. $900.
Just a minute, $2,600 for the wheel. Why?
Well, when the car was returned to me, the wheel was leaning.
Yeah.
And it was in her possession, and I figured she owed me for it because who knows who she let drive it.
Well, Mr. Saunders.
Yes, ma'am.
When you lend somebody a car or turn a car over to them for an extended period of time, you assume that that car may be used, driven by her, driven by someone else, and you take certain risks. You're not going to get the car back in exactly the same situation as when you went in 2 years ago. You're a different person, I assume, than you were 2 years ago when you went to jail, right?
Very much so.
Very much so.
Yes, ma'am.
So's your car.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. But also, that wheel was leaning so bad that it's unsafe. I do not assume to get my property back in an unsafe condition. Also, ma'am, I'm not upset with anything that happens to my stuff in her possession. But when she lends it out to third parties, that's what I have a problem with. And third parties also who aren't honest.
Well, your arrangement with her was that she paid for the car, make the car payments while you were away, and she would have access to the car.
She agreed to pay for the payments. I also, with the money that I had that she was in possession of, said to her, if you have any problems paying for it, pay for it out of my money.
Did you use his money to pay for the car?
No, ma'am.
That's untrue, ma'am. I have paper right here stating that she did.
I may have made 3 car payments with his money.
Well, why don't you... I just asked you a question. You said no.
I'm talking about over the 2-year period. I used my money to pay for that vehicle.
Well, you were driving the vehicle. And he was driving the vehicle, right?
No, ma'am. He used the vehicle one time.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you that he used it one time, and the one time he used it, he was in an accident. Is that what you're going to tell me?
Yes, ma'am.
Baloney. Miss Thompson.
It was an ice storm.
Miss Thompson, I don't care if it was an ice storm, a tornado, or a typhoon. If you think that I believe that you only let your boyfriend use that car once, I was born in 1965.
Excuse me. I also have a copy of the report here also of the accident. It says nothing about an ice storm.
Whether it says anything about an ice storm, listen to me. She used the car, and it was your agreement that she would pay for the car.
Yes, ma'am.
Once she was using it.
Yes, ma'am.
Because you didn't have a car at the time that was
I
usable.
did have a car.
Then why would you use his car?
Your Honor, in the very beginning, I only drove I did not drive his car. He asked me to drive it because the alarm vehicle was on there. He was afraid it was going to drain the battery if it just sat there.
All you have to do is put the car up on blocks and take out the battery. Isn't that right? If you're not going to use it for a long time?
I don't know anything about that.
Well, you
So
should.
initially, I started driving it just on the weekends. After my car went down in '96, then I started driving his car on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm. So you used it all the time?
Full time in '96.
So?
But that was a full year after I had been given possession of the vehicle.
Ma'am, I gave her the car with 37,000 miles on it. I got it back with somewhat of 70,000 miles on it.
Right. Because
just
I
can somebody
basically
tell me
drive
something?
150 miles
I'm just
a day.
interested. I'm interested in. These are the expenses from your 401k. Is that right?
That's what itemized description of what she
Who uses
gave me.
all these Bibles?
I was giving them out.
You were giving them out from jail in jail?
Yes, ma'am.
He spent hundreds of dollars on Bibles to give to other inmates.
I could think of worse things. You were driving this car when it was in a bad accident, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Did the insurance cover the cost of that?
Yes, ma'am.
And what was the cost of repairs for the car?
A little over $5,000.
And how much did the insurance pay?
Everything except for $300, my deductible.
I don't see where she owes you a whole bunch of money, sir. I think she owes you for the gun.
Yeah, well,
I don't think she owes you for the car, and I'm going to get to her countersuit in a minute. Car's a problem. You let somebody have a car, and that's what happens. I think that the 3 car payments that you took out of your 401k, if she was using the car, she has to pay you back for. If she's treating this car as her own, she's driving it, she's letting her boyfriend drive it, it doesn't seem to me that you got to pay for it. That just sounds fair.
Your Honor?
Okay, yes.
The payments that I made with his money was during the time that I was not driving the vehicle on a daily basis, only on the weekends to go visit him. So I don't see where I should be responsible for that full payment.
Why don't you drive your own car to go visit him?
Because his car was newer, he wanted me to drive his car.
That's untrue. Her car
I don't believe, Miss Thompson, that he ever said that to you.
Her car was down.
The problem is when you tell a lie once to a court, the court tends to look at everything else that you say with a certain amount of suspicion.
Amen.
I don't believe that he ever said to you, please drive my car instead of yours, and I also don't believe that you only drove his car on the weekends if you're telling me that his car was newer than yours.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Lovers that have been together for a while can feel when the other person is drifting off.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. While Lawrence Saunders was in jail, he claims his girlfriend found a new man who damaged his Jeep and lost his gun.
I see 2 car payments that you made, $854 out of his account.
Because it was behind.
Well, he was in jail.
Your Honor, Mr. Saunders had a habit of never paying his bills or not paying them on time.
Yeah, I have no problem with what she's showing with the money, even using my money to pay for my Jeep, okay? I didn't have a problem with that. I asked her, if it would have been up to me, I would have let the vehicle go back and controlled my money until I got back. She said, no, I'll help you, I'll do it for you, you're gonna need a vehicle when you get out, no problem. And I think she did pretty much a good job with the money.
Oh, so what are you here for? Are you just mad at her?
No, I'm not mad at her.
So
again, my car was not, she promised me, I asked her to promise me that she wouldn't give my stuff away to a third party. Some guy, I figured that, I'm going for a while, I'm not a fool. She might be dating, she wants to date. I mean, she's a young girl. She shouldn't be strapped down with some guy that's away, okay? Go ahead, do your thing. But if you're going to take care, you gave me your word that you would take care of my stuff. If you're going to take care of my stuff, take care of my stuff. If something happens to it, that's an act of God. But if you're irresponsible and you're handing it out to people, you're handing it out to people that I don't know, you're handing it out to people who aren't above board, it's not honest. That's my opinion, but I can express it.
But you gave her permission to do that.
I gave
You expected that she might let somebody else drive the car as long as she was responsible.
No, I didn't.
You didn't?
I asked her, and she promised me that she would not.
Is that true?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And you did. You lent it to somebody else.
I lent it to my family members to move some furniture, and I did loan it to Mr. Hogue. And
you had promised him that you wouldn't?
Yes, ma'am.
And sir, how much did it cost you to fix up the car?
I had a figure of actually around 3,700 that I lost in trading the car in.
So if he says that he lost money because the car was not driven appropriately by you, Mr. Hogue, some members of your family, and was in an accident, don't you think he should be compensated?
No.
Well, but you think that you have a counterclaim against him for what? You're countersuing him for $5,000. I'd like to hear for what?
For the monies that I paid on the Jeep, Mr. Saunders said that I could have used his money, but he didn't have enough money to cover the cost of the vehicle.
So you want him to pay you for his car that you were using while he was away?
I'm suing him for the fact that he has been, in my opinion, very dishonest about the whole transaction with the vehicle.
Why?
Because, Your Honor, he had initially told me that he was going to pay me back for keeping his vehicle.
Did you ever tell her that?
No.
I believe that you never told her. Ms.
Now,
Thompson,
why would you believe him and not me?
Because you told me already 3 lies today, and we've only been together for 15 minutes.
And he
That's
has
why.
not told you a lie?
That's why. And because it doesn't have the ring of truth. What you're saying doesn't have the ring of truth to it. It
Your
just
Honor.
doesn't. And let me tell you why. Because there were times when he had plenty of money in the bank, and you didn't take the money out of his account to pay for the Jeep. And because according to his statement, which I believe, without his prior authorization, you went and refinanced this car because the payments were too high so that you could make the payments. Is that true?
No, ma'am.
You mean this car was never refinanced?
Yes, it was. I refinanced the vehicle with his credit union because it was a cheaper monthly payment and less of an interest rate.
For you to pay. And then you made the payments.
And eventually, he would have had to have paid with no job. How was he going to make a $427 payment each month with no job?
Ms. Thompson, so what you're telling me is while you had a new boyfriend, you were concerned about what would happen to Mr. Saunders when he got out of jail.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
Ms. Thompson, so what you're telling me is while you had a new boyfriend, you were concerned about what would happen to Mr. Saunders when he got out of jail.
Yes, I was.
The countersuit is dismissed. On your lawsuit, sir, this was a very good lesson for you,
Yes, ma'am.
right? I wouldn't give my closest relative power of attorney over my money without my having the ability to co-sign for it. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Very bad idea. I am only dealing now with this gun because as far as I'm concerned with regard to the Jeep, which is now sold, she used it, she paid for it for a substantial period of time. You sold it, whatever monies that you got, you lost money, but some of the monies that you got for it were monies that she paid. It was almost like renting a car from a rental company. She had the ability to use that car for almost 2 years, so she used it. It's a wash. You owe for the gun. The gun should not have been in his house. The gun should have been where he left it, in a vault, someplace safe. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $200. Thank you, that's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Back over to your right, please.
On the next Judge Judy.
McBriar versus Golden. All parties on McBriar versus Golden. Step forward.
20-year-old Tamara McBriar says she woke up one day to a $600 phone bill, run up by her live-in boyfriend, Bernard Golden, a lighting technician from Pasadena.
Order. All rise. All rise, please.
How you doing, Judge? Judge, this is number 10 on the calendar in the matter of McBriar versus Golden. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. Be seated, please. Have a seat.
I've read your papers. Ms. McBriar, according to your complaint, you and the defendant lived together for about 4 years.
Yes.
During that time, he says he paid all the bills. Is
Yes,
that right?
That's right.
But prior to your separation, which was not a happy one, according to what I've read, she says you ran up a phone bill of about $640.
That's not true.
Well, tell me about it.
Your Honor, I have the phone bills right here. What I do, Your Honor, is every month I am on a fixed income. So every month...
What kind of fixed income?
I am on disability. I am on SSI. Okay, so every month what I do is I call the phone company and I asked one of the reps what is the amount of my phone bill before I even get it, so I'll know how much I'm going to pay out for my phone bill. So on April 17th, I got up and I called the phone company. Bernard was still in the bed, he was asleep. And I asked her the amount of my phone bill. and she told me it was $624.13.
For 1 month?
For 1 month.
Yes.
And so I was speechless. I was speechless, and I automatically just started sweating because I had never had a phone bill that big in my life, you know, and so I couldn't speak to her. I kind of just.
So what happened?
So what happened was I said, well, what made the bill $624? And you know, what made the bill this high? You know, I was actually yelling at her, you know, and so she said, well, you have quite a bit of long distance phone calls on your bill to Virginia. Most of them are to Virginia, and you have a lot of toll calls.
So she sent you a bill. You ultimately got a bill.
Yes, I did get the bill.
Would you get the bill? Sure. Thank you. So what happened? You got this bill. He's sleeping.
He's sleeping.
You woke him up, I assume.
Yeah. Yes, I did. No,
I'm curious, how did you wake him up?
Actually, I didn't wake him up. I got off the phone with the rep, and I sat there because I didn't want to go in a rage and yell at him, like, you know, and start this big thing.
That's a good idea.
Okay, so he was coming out the bedroom when I was going to approach him, and it was in the hallway. And so I said, Bernard, I said, why did you run my phone bill up to $624?
Did you say it in that tone?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
And so he said, baby, I didn't know I did that. And so I said, well, you did.
What was the phone bill usually on a monthly basis?
Usually on a monthly basis, my phone bill runs me maybe $40, $50 at the most.
Okay. Your financial arrangement with Mr. Golden was that he paid the rent on the apartment?
He paid the rent and the utilities.
Well, the phone is a utility.
Well, the phone was not a utility. No, it was not. Because that was my phone in my name.
So he paid the gas and electric and the rent. And what about the food? Who paid the food?
I bought the food.
Sometimes she did. Not all the time. She never bought food. She always claimed with accusations of different bills.
All right, I'm just trying to get some sense of the financial arrangement.
No, excuse me, Your Honor. You know I bought food. Don't you sit up here and lie and tell me I did not buy food.
No,
I
he
bought
didn't.
food every month.
Madam,
Not
look
all
at me.
I'm
Don't
sorry.
yell at him. He said that you bought some food and he bought some food.
Oh.
That's what he said.
Okay.
But he paid the rent. How much was the rent?
The rent was $650. I mean $550. I'm sorry.
Okay, plus the utilities.
Plus utility, lights, and gas.
Okay, and your arrangement was whatever the overage was on this phone bill, you were supposed to pay for it.
Right.
Correct?
Correct.
All right. She says that you joined the psychic hotline.
No, that's not true.
Did you do that?
No.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did, Your Honor.
Order.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. I have proof that he joined the psychic hotline.
Let me see it.
No, I did not.
Did you call the psychic hotline?
No, I did not. I
Yes,
don't know
he did.
anything
You
about
never
it. Never did.
Matter of fact,
She has a block on her phone for 900 numbers. She has a block on her telephone.
Yes.
For all the calls that you can't
All right.
call long distance.
Did you ever see this phone bill, Mr. Golden?
No,
Well,
Your
we're
Honor.
going to show it to you. I was curious, Ms. McBriar, about something else that I read in your complaint. Because you said during that morning when you confronted, look at me, madam.
Yes.
During that morning, you said because you feared what he might do, you called the police on him.
Well, I called the police on him because, see, Bernard has threatened to kill me. He has threatened to kill me. He has done a lot of things. He has a domestic violence record already. And he does not like police. He told me if I ever called the police on him again that he would kill me.
Had he done anything to you before you called the police that day?
That day he hadn't done anything to me, no.
But you were afraid once you confronted him with the phone bill, he was
I was afraid for my life.
Could I finish? You can't talk over each other.
I'm sorry, Your Honor,
Okay.
I'm upset. I'm very upset.
All right. He said, so you called the police came, you left?
I wasn't home when the police came. I wasn't at there at all.
Had you known that she called the police?
I didn't know who she was calling on. I know she was, she just said, I'm pressing charges, as far as I know, when I was leaving the house.
What were you pressing charges for?
No, excuse me, Your Honor. You know what? He's lying, okay? He's lying.
About what?
Okay, when I called the police, they asked me, like they always do when I call the police, they asked me what was he wearing. When I was describing to them what he was wearing, he took off on his bike out the side gate. Okay. So I wouldn't describe what he was wearing.
That's not true. I was leaving anyway to make a phone call because I didn't want to use her telephone because she was already furious of me about the bill.
You didn't want to use my telephone. You always use my telephone. That's why it's $647
you-
at this
you're very
time.
selfish with your phone.
But yes, I'm selfish with my phone
Ma'am.
because.
Ma'am.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He asked God to destroy me, to not talk on the phone.
Miss McBriar.
Tamara McBriar wants her ex-boyfriend to pay the $600 phone bill she says he left behind when they split.
Miss McBriar,
Yes.
let me tell you what I don't understand here, okay?
Yes.
At the start of this case, you told me that each month you called the phone company because you're on this fixed disability income.
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
What's the nature of your disability?
Panic attacks.
And how long have you been on
Since
disability?
1989.
You told me that you called the phone company each month so that you could set aside an amount of money
Yes,
for
Your
the
Honor.
phone bill. Now, these phone bills that you presented me with, so I assumed when you called, this $624 was for 1 month. But that's not true according to these phone bills. You're showing me bills for December, January, February, March, all totaling.
No, Your Honor. No, Your Honor. I'm not showing
Well,
you.
then-
No, I'm not.
Just a second. Then I have the bills for March,
You have the
which you're talking about, and the bill for March, the total bill. Trying to figure it out.
I have the March bill right here. The
Oh,
March
you didn't
10th.
hand it to me. You didn't hand me the front page of the March bill. Let me see the front page of the March bill, please.
That was never paid. Also, this
Just
was.
shh. Listen to me. I want you to look at these bills, madam. You're telling me that all the phone calls he made that are in question now are the bills for that 1 month, March and April, because you told me that you called each month before that to get your bill.
Yes, I do, Your
Well,
Honor.
then take these back. Take a look at those. Those say December and January. Am I
Okay.
correct? Am I correct?
No, they say April 10th.
No, keep
April
reading.
10th.
Read the phones. Read the dates on the phone calls.
Okay, yes, the dates on the phone call. Those were the dates that the phone calls were made.
December, correct?
Yes.
January. Keep going. Keep looking.
I see December, January. Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Okay, so I assume you paid those.
No, I did not pay these.
Well, so I'm not following you. If you didn't pay those and you got those bills in December, January, February, and you didn't pay those bills, then you knew that there was an outstanding balance because your March bill is only $120.97.
Right.
It's $120.97.
Yes. That's money that I had to take and pay for Bernard because, see, when I would ask Bernard to pay the phone bill, he would tell me that he couldn't give me the money at the time because he had to pay the rent. But I would try to explain to him that I have to pay the phone bill because my phone would be disconnected.
Let me tell you what I don't understand. Those bills that I returned to you had a lot of long-distance calls, December, January, a whole bunch of long-distance calls that you have marked off as Bernard's calls.
Exactly.
You, of necessity, had to get those bills in either the end of December or the beginning of January, the beginning of February. What did you do with those bills that you got?
What did you mean what I did with that?
Did Bernard pay them or did you pay them?
I paid them.
He had all those long-distance calls on December and January. Didn't you discuss that with him?
Yes, I did.
Did he pay them?
No, he did not.
Had she discussed them with you?
No, well, the early ones in the past she had, and I gave her $100 before the month before I vacated the apartment. I gave her approximately $100 on the phone bill, contribute towards it, to make for all my calls, local, all long distance. And that's when when she told me about the new bill, was the bill had not came yet after I gave her $100 for the first bill. That new bill came after I have gone and left the apartment, vacated.
Well,
Your Honor.
you see, this new bill for $661 doesn't list the phone calls on it.
Well, you asked me for the whole bill.
I understand that, but it's very hard for me to follow Miss McBriar because On the last bill, it doesn't list the phone calls. How is he supposed to know which phone calls he made?
It doesn't list the phone calls because those are the phone. Okay, that $661 is including. It hasn't been paid yet because I can't pay it. I don't have the money because they're Bernard's calls. I mean, I want my money for my phone bill. Your Honor, listen to me, please.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Please listen to me.
I'm trying.
This man, this man here is lying to you.
No, listen, Miss McBride, look at this. I want you to look at your March 10th statement. Okay? Look at your March 10th statement. How much does it say is owed on the March 10th statement?
$120.97.
All right. So as of March 1997, you owed $120.
Yes.
Just a minute. Okay. Where is the April bill?
I have the April bill.
Tell me what is owed. And just a second, when did you move out?
I moved out possibly on the, let's see, what was it? It was, what was it, date? That's about March.
No.
What date did he move out,
He
madam?
moved out April 17th.
I knew she'd remember. Women always remember those things. Then forget. He moved out on April 17th?
Yes, he did, Your Honor.
All right. Now, so your March bill was $120.
Yes.
Now let me see the April bill.
Okay. April, here we are. Let me get it together here. Okay, this is the April bill.
Let me see it, please, with all the